This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, August 13th. I'm here with Stephanie, Al, Brandon. I am Sam. Tori has the day off. Let's get right to it because there is a lot of news today. Starting with a CNN anchor went off on a heckler. Chris Cuomo threatened to beat up a man who called him Fredo. The whole thing was caught on camera. Watch.
I thought that's who you were.
No, from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
You're much.
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother. It's an insult to people. It's like the N-word for us.
Listen, man, I don't have a problem with you, man.
You're gonna have a problem.
What? What are you gonna do about it?
Ruin you. I'll throw you down these stairs like a punk.
And another CNN critic is weighing in. The president tweeted about it this morning, saying, quote, "I thought Chris was Fredo also. The truth hurts." He also tweeted this, saying, would Chris be given a red flag for his recent rant, filthy language, and a total loss of control? He shouldn't be allowed to have any weapon. He is nuts. So Chris Cuomo saying this is a derogatory term towards Italians. I'm looking on social media. You have other people saying no, it's pointing out that he's the weaker brother, considering his brother is Andrew Cuomo. Regardless how you put it, comes off offensive.
I mean, yeah, offensive to however it hits your ears. I mean, I'm sure that Steph, being a Brit, I'm sure there are sayings in your, where you're from that I wouldn't even know what they meant, but you'd be like, those are fighting words. I mean, to him, I've never seen The Godfather, so call me Fredo all day. I don't know. I like Alfredo. That's delicious.
Yeah, but if someone told you, the difference is if I told you right now, what whatever word may be is offending me, and this is why, I would imagine you would stop and then you wouldn't go and then tweet about it after that person said it was offensive.
Well, he's trying to stir the pot. There's another word I want to use there. And this is what's happening now. People are now understanding that you can get traction on social media by confronting people with a following and recording them. You have people running up on celebrities all the time trying to say things. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry your husband left you for so-and-so. They're trying to get a reaction, and then they can go, oh, so-and-so took my phone and threw it. It's a setup.
Well, here's the thing, though, and Brandon, I want to apply this. If this is an offensive word, which according to many people it is, we need to apply this to both sides of the aisle, because George Takei, who I love, by the way, he's a liberal. I would consider him an ally, and I'm sure he wouldn't want to offend anybody. He said we should stop calling Don Jr. We should stop calling him Don Jr. We should start calling him Fredo. So you're seeing this word, an offensive word, being used on both sides of the aisle. Now, I'm sure sitting here as a black man, both of you have been called very offensive words. How have you dealt with that?
Well, I've gotten into a lot of altercations because of that. I grew up in Virginia to where that word, you say that word and you put it with the N-word? ER at the end, the N-word, then there's going to be some sort of altercation, because there are a lot of people, that's growing up. But now as a grown man, there are a lot of people who think like me who want some sort of altercation after that because they're tired of the racism. They're tired of being told, go back to your country. And it's just not, it's hard to just walk away from something like that, especially when everyone is so heightened right now.
Why is it hard to walk away from somebody that doesn't matter? Why would you let somebody make a determination in your path on this planet, somebody you'll never see again? Like, I genuinely want to know the logic behind that.
Because there's one thing, Al, to just write Twitter fingers, is be behind your computer. It's another thing when someone is coming up in your space, and in this case, amongst your family, around your family. It's one thing, like, if you're going to take it there, you're going to take it there. And I don't want that. I don't want violence. I will walk away, and probably in most situations, but there's sometimes when
What's the headline going to read the next day? That he used the N-word, or 6'5" former football player, talk show host, beats up man holding phone? Which headline are we going to read? I mean, don't let them control your narrative. That's there forever. If this person puts his hands on you or impedes your movement, that's one thing. But just using a word, I mean, have at it.
Yeah, and I wish a lot of people,
I understand your anger.
But there's a lot of people who are tired of being, go back to your country.
I can't even imagine.
Or stop speaking in your native tongue, that sort of thing. And I thank you for that.
Someone's just written in there, Michael Loveland's watching on YouTube. Obviously, we're live, so we're getting comments through, and he's saying that he knows the pressures. Man, if they said that word to him, there would be trouble. So he agrees with Brandon.
So if Michael Loveland, he's saying, if somebody called him Alfredo, there would be trouble.
Yeah,
so clearly,
same thing.
listen, we understand it. I think, you know, the ideal way to deal with this would be to walk away, but I think we can all understand
it's difficult.
the hurt.
They make it difficult, but don't fall into an easy trap.
Yeah. Got it.
Like, why would you let this person, why would you let this nobody control your narrative?
Yeah.
You've worked too hard. Come on.
All right. Well, chime in, DBN Nation. We do want to hear from you. There are new details in the Jeffrey Epstein case. FBI agents reportedly raided the late billionaire's private island yesterday in the Caribbean. They're looking to uncover more information about possible co-conspirators. Among other things, Epstein was found dead of an apparent suicide over the weekend. He had been facing charges of sex trafficking, and attention is shifting to possible co-conspirators like this woman, including the British socialite named Ghislaine Maxwell. She has been accused of recruiting underage girls for sex, which she has denied. Her current location is unknown. I have no idea who this woman is. She's just learning about her. I know these are just allegations, Steph. Make me want to see red. What do you know about her?
Okay, so this woman is a British socialite. So she's come from a very wealthy, well-to-do family. Her father owned multiple businesses. So she was connected to the royal family, Prince Andrew in particular, through her social circles. Now, when her father passed away, she moved to America, which is in 1991, and that's when she actually introduced Prince Andrew to Jeffrey. So that's how that friendship came about.
Like as a liaison, a recruiter, allegedly?
I don't know, but she was the connection between the two. Now, one thing that worries me is that there's been a document that's been given now to the court, and in that there's multiple pictures and statements, especially from one lady in particular. Her name, let me get this right, is Virginia Giuffre. I think she's French. So she was only 17 years old, and there's multiple pictures of her with Jeffrey, her with this woman, and also her with Prince Andrew in their house.
And what were they doing? Was she...
Prince Andrew's got his arm around her. It's in his private home.
Was she one of the young women accusing them of sex trafficking her?
Yes. So she was saying, she's saying that Ghislaine introduced him to be a sex slave for Jeffrey, and he then passed her around with multiple people.
Well, I hope heads roll. I really do. Yeah. If these allegations are true, I really hope that she never sees the light of day, as well as all the other people involved. I don't understand people today. I really don't. A friend of the Dayton shooter is facing federal firearm charges right now. This is 24-year-old Ethan Cawley. He's been accused of providing the shooter with the body armor as well as the 100-round double-drum magazine that was used in the deadly shooting. He also purchased the upper receiver for the AR-15, according to court documents. Authorities say he told them he had done hard drugs, marijuana, LSD with the shooter before and had lied on ATF paperwork about his drug use. So when red flags are ignored, what do we do here? Because I would imagine anybody using drugs aren't going to put that on their ATF form. So therefore, if you're going to have a firearm, especially an assault, a semi-automatic assault weapon, shouldn't you have to undergo drug testing?
You should, but they don't want to limit people's access to guns, Sam. I mean, this isn't brain surgery right here. I mean, it's like, you know, if you tell a little kid, like, I'm going to leave these cookies on the, promise you won't eat them, promise. Like, we know what they're going to do. But no one goes in here and, like, is going to divulge that kind of information on a government document that they use drugs, especially if it's getting in the way of something that they want.
Well, what about him giving the shooter armor, bullets, the receiver for the AR-15? Should he be held liable?
I thought so this morning, but after talking to some of my friends who are in that gun culture, there's really nothing wrong with what he did.
Let him finish.
I understand, because we talked to our own Erica Cobb this morning, who said that that wasn't that big of a deal because she does tactical training, and that's something that
having body armor.
So it's having the body armor. And then you look at other red flags. The girlfriend said that he was obsessed with mass shootings, but he was a social psychologist.
I completely disagree. I think if you are going to,
Sam.
I know, but if you're, listen, I'm a gun owner. I grew up shooting guns. I support the Second Amendment right, but I also support the fact that we have sensible gun reform. And with that, if you are going to be a responsible gun owner, you don't go lending out your weapon or anything that can lend to mass destruction. It's the same thing, in my opinion, of giving you dirty heroin and, God forbid, Brandon, you overdose. I'm guilty too. That's my opinion.
I get that, but there are a lot of people who are going to go against what you said just now.
That's fine.
I think
and they can go against what I say. That's how I feel.
I think there's a very big difference between Erica said that she's currently going through training, and for that training you have to wear body armor. If someone said, may I borrow your body armor for training, that's different.
And the receiver to your AR-15
hundreds of
and
bullets.
100
That's
bullets.
a very different thing. You should not let that weapon out of your sight. You should be with it at all times.
Irresponsible. I don't think anybody will defend it.
How many gun owners ask their friends for those sort of things like that? We're Monday morning quarterback that because of a mass shooting.
100 rounds and a.
I don't want someone to have 100 rounds.
I think
it shouldn't be allowed anyway.
I know a lot of people that own guns. I know. Listen, I have a father that served 2 tours in Vietnam. He is a very responsible gun owner. I know for a fact my dad and people like my dad, former military members, would not lend out things like that.
We're not talking about a military personnel, and I'm not on this side.
Exactly, and that's exactly
I want heads to
so
roll
irresponsible,
like
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So irresponsible,
Agreed.
in my opinion.
Agreed.
And that's why we can have these conversations.
Definitely. I mean, we're sitting here with responsible gun owners, and I think that's the problem.
Yep.
It's like I look at you guys. You guys are professionals. You guys, Erica Cobb goes to in practices. The fact that these two dumbbells.
Yeah.
Could get their hands on that kind of stuff. Did you see there's nothing behind their eyes?
Yeah.
The fact that they can get their hands on this.
That's my point.
And all there is just a piece of paper saying, swear to God you don't do drugs. That's the only line of defense we have between him and a Walmart.
I also know that responsible gun owners would be shuddering because they take the responsibility as gun owners very seriously, and I don't want them painted with a broad brush where they just lend out weapons, because I know that most responsible gun owners do not abide by that, in my opinion. Well, DBL's Live coming up. Our own Tori Shulman gets busy in the kitchen to recreate a legendary dessert from the Cheesecake Factory. But will she be able to fool our co-host? Ooh, and you, the viewer, are our 5th host. After Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth split, people on social media are speculating she may have been cheating on him with a woman and saying that's why you shouldn't date bisexuals. That's terrible. We'll share your comments coming up next.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending stories for you right now. Happy Tuesday. I think we're going to go to the desk and see what the hosts are chatting about. Let's go. Hey guys, great conversation going on up here.
Great conversation.
Yeah.
I really appreciated Brandon's input. This is what this show's about. We come in with strong opinions. Hopefully one of those opinions reflects your opinion. As a responsible gun owner, I take my responsibility very seriously. I know my father does. I know people like my father do. So when I see such grave irresponsibilities from gun owners, I feel the need to call it what it is.
Yeah, but I have friends. I'm not a registered gun owner, so I can't speak on the ins and outs on what it is that they're supposed to do. But I grew up around gun culture in Virginia, and I have friends that would have no problem lending someone body odor.
I think they were probably young, though.
Someone...
I don't think you had it. Would you tell me that an adult would have lent another adult
100-round magazine?
Yeah.
Yes.
That surprises
because
me.
you could go to a gun range for it.
That's
That
different.
doesn't necessarily
That's totally
mean
different.
that...
If you're going to the gun range together and you guys have an arsenal of different weapons that you want to have tried, I've been guilty of that. I've come in with the Dirty Harry gun, with different type of weapons, and I've practice shooting different type of weapons. But that's different when you're in the guise of a gun range. It's protected. You have everything in front of you than me just dropping it off at your home.
So that
is irresponsible.
But why do you have to go with another registered gun owner to the gun shop? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's easy for a friend to lend another friend.
I don't think so. This isn't a handbag.
Ammunition.
This isn't a handbag. This isn't a pair of shoes. This isn't a hairbrush.
Yeah.
This is something that could create mass destruction. You don't just go lend your car unless you find out that person is insured. So why would it be any different with guns?
Not everyone thinks that their friend is going to go shoot up a bar.
But it's a gun.
Talking about it.
It's a gun. What if your 4-year-old in that person's home accidentally shot themselves? That's on you, boo. You don't just go lending out guns like handbags. We've become so desensitized to the seriousness of guns in America. Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Just an hour after news broke that newlyweds Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth are headed for divorce. Miley was spotted kissing Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn Carter, in Italy. And now some are blaming Miley's attraction to women for the split. Miley considers herself pansexual and is attracted to people. So DBL Nation, how would you feel if someone you were dating told you they were pan or bisexual? Take it away, Brandon.
All right, here we go. Luna from Facebook says, I'm bisexual and I'm mainly attracted to other bi or pansexuals because there's an understanding that makes it easier for me to be myself. I said it earlier. I think there's some sort of emotional connection when it comes to woman to woman. So when Liam Hemsworth got into this with Miley Cyrus, I don't think he really realized what he could potentially getting himself into. The same with a lot of other guys who get themselves into these relationships with women, and same for men and women at the same time. So I just think there's that connection, that emotional and mental connection, and I think that could be what ultimately led to her wanting to be with another woman.
I can see it. All right, Tiff from Facebook says, I have a hard time with this because I would feel insecure because he might be into things I can't do physically. Tiff, this is what every relationship needs to do from the beginning. It's the hardest thing to do in a relationship, and it's have a couple of uncomfortable conversations. No one wants to do that. They think they're going to be Ozzy and Harriet. That's a new reference. They think that they're just going to have a quote-unquote normal relationship, but there is no such thing as a normal relationship. You guys need to talk about everything. What you're into, what you're not into. Are people going to be involved? What are we going to be watching? Well, how often do you want to engage in certain behaviors? It's a little uncomfortable. It's a little weird. Have a couple of glasses of wine if you need to, but make sure you have the conversation.
There you go.
Jace from Facebook says, if a girl I was dating and in love with revealed to me that she was into other girls, I'd feel betrayed, like I really didn't know her. But if she was upfront in the beginning, I might be open to it. Well, thanks for being honest, Jace. Now, I echo everything that Al said. Obviously, when you first meet someone and you're expressing, if you want to be with someone, you're planning on spending a considerable amount of time, if not your life, with them. So you should be really open and honest about how you feel. But what if in this case she maybe didn't know how she felt until a later date? Because guess what? We're humans and we all change our mind. And one day we might like chocolate and the next day we might like peanut butter.
You can just say me and Brandon.
I don't know. I just think each to their own, but you know, I think if she's picked you and she's with you, she might discover that she might be sexually attracted to a member of the opposite sex, but she's with you.
Yeah, don't think too much into it, right?
No.
Oh, no more comments. No, I just think, listen, this is 2019. If somebody I was dating in the past told me they were bisexual or pansexual, I would see that as a beautiful thing. You know, you don't choose your sexuality, you're born with your sexuality, and I would also applaud that person for loving someone for who they are.
But would you be worried?
No, I would not be worried.
But even
why would
if
it be
she
any
was,
different
she's allowed to be worried because he told her or
but
she
why
told
would it be any different than like my husband's exes? An ex is an ex, whether they're a girl or a boy or trans. Like, to me, it's about insecurity, right?
I think a lot of this is people feeling blindsided, and it's because they did not talk about it.
Yeah.
And if you and I are going to start a life together, you better damn sure be ready to discuss finances, religion, school, homeschool, kids. Do you want one, none, or five?
Even say sex. How sexually active are you? Some people are a little bit more asexual. Other people like to have sex multiple times a day. Yeah. And those are things that we need to talk about when you enter a relationship.
And it's crazy we don't.
And we
should have to.
Agreed.
You
talk about gun laws. There should be a sheet of 5 uncomfortable questions that you have to answer.
I like it, Al. Yeah. I don't know how that'll go on the first date, but
we could
get it there.
Fourth date.
Check.
It saves us going on second, third, fourth. If you get into it that deep and then it's too late, what are you gonna do?
Thank you for writing in, DBL Nation. Coming up on DBL, in our latest installment of Copycat Kitchen, our own Tori Shulman recreates a delicious dessert from the Cheesecake Factory. Will she fool our co-host in the blind taste test? Ooh, find out. Yummy. Coming up next.
What's up, Beauty Blast? I'm Jure for the Slay, and today we're talking a little beauty tea gossip. Now, a lot has been going on in the beauty world lately, but one new collaboration is setting a new record for everybody, all right? Drybar and It Cosmetics has collabed together for a brand new product launch coming August 1st. Now, can you guess what it is? Now, let's think about this. They're both cosmetic companies. Drybar does hair, It Cosmetics does skin and makeup. What could they do in common? Oh yeah, lashes. Lashes have hair, right? And we use them in makeup as well, so it kind of makes sense. Guess what? It is a mascara that they're making for us guys. This mascara looks like it's out of this world, and it actually combines two great features from both companies. Now, It Cosmetics came into play and actually gave those great killer ingredients that it's so well known for. Biotin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid too, all to help hydrate and lift those beautiful lashes and keep them looking pretty. Dry Bar came in and said, let's make it look just like what everyone wants. Let's give them what they want, let's say that. Volume, guys. They actually took the idea from their volume-based hair products and they actually created this little mascara brush that looks just like their round brush. Crazy, right? Now, it even went as far as to having little yellow balls on the tips of the brush to actually separate and define the lashes, which I was like, okay, y'all might be trying it a little bit too much. Now, with this mascara, it actually is going to be having an amazing finish and it's supposed to give you that beautiful lift and curl. So we're gonna try it out and see just how it does very soon here. Now, it launches on August 1st, so hopefully we get it once it gets into a retail store right away. So, for more beauty gossip, make sure you check out more Beauty Blast and check out my social media platforms at Jeray for the Slay. We'll see you guys next time.
Welcome back to DBL. In today's Copycat Kitchen, co-host Tori Shulman takes on the Cheesecake Factory's famous Oreo cheesecake. We have the full instructions at dbl.com/recipes, but first, check out Tori's attempt.
I'm gonna keep on loving you. Thank you. That is Oreo Speedwagon, and I'm here to make Cheesecake Factory's Oreo cheesecake on Copycat Kitchen. Let's go. Welcome to Copycat Kitchen. Meow. We are here with Brandon London. He's already prepared. We're going to try the Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake. I made a dupe. He's going to see which one is the real one and which is the copycat. Are you ready? This is Exhibit A.
Let me reset my palette.
Okay. You ready?
Cool.
And coming in hot. Sorry.
The Copycat Kitchen is the second one.
Okay, you think B?
Yes, B.
Okay. All right, Jeff, for your first time.
All right, my first time in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, open your mouth and take it in. Okay, that's one.
Well, that's good.
Delicious, you like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
Okay, let's see about B. You ready?
Okay.
Choo choo, choo choo. Which one's the copycat?
I'd say B is the one you made.
All right, Steph has probably one of the best palates I know, so she is gonna be good about this. Nice cat work. Here we go, open your mouth. And that's A.
Delicious.
Take it in. Maybe some oxygen with that. Okay, aerate it. Okay. And then we're coming in.
Oh, wow. Creamy and delicious.
Good, okay. And B, you ready? B. Stephanie, which one is the copycat, A or B?
It's got to be A.
Whoa, you think A is the copycat?
I think it's A.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Thank you for one person doing it. The answer is A's the real, B's the copycat. We tricked Stephanie, everybody.
You would never know.
You would never know. We'll be right back.
Back to the DBL Stream Team, where we talk trending shows on Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. I'm Leo, here with Kelly, and let's dive into our first one, the Hulu original 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Based off the movie, and it actually stars the girl from Game of Thrones who plays Missandei. She's in a lead character role. She doesn't feel like Missandei in this series, but
I can't look past Missandei.
Yeah?
I can't.
Do you feel like when you see her, that's all you envision?
I do. I think she's one of those characters that I can't get
no.
past the Game of Thrones thing. So that was the first thing for me. And then I couldn't, and I know I shouldn't compare it to the movie because it's a 10-episode series, but I couldn't help but compare it to the movie. The movie was such a good rom-com. It's a classic rom-com. Everyone loves that movie. And this just like didn't match up for me.
And it didn't really, it had the drama.
It
let
did.
me say this. The first couple episodes had the drama.
Yep.
It had the the heart intense action.
Yeah.
But it just, after that, it kind of just went downhill, unfortunately. I would say after the second episode, things kind of just started
which is
falling
a
apart
bummer
little.
because writer and producer Mindy Kaling, I love her, but I feel like
it could be a little bit more effort.
I do, and I can't help but compare it to the movie. So
Yeah, but
that's a big
hey,
part of it.
check it out streaming on Hulu now. And our classic pick this week is on Netflix, so you guys can join in. It's the Andy Griffith Show. About Sheriff Andy, you know, and his antics, and there's really no crime that happens in the town, so it's just a lot of shenanigans and a lot of comedy
shenanigans, if
for
you
most
will.
of it, and with him and his son Opie, and yeah, check that out streaming out on Netflix
Classic
now.
show.
And a brief update on the Disney Plus streaming service. They actually are releasing a new package to bundle together with Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney Plus for $12.99. But the Hulu on the subscription does have ads, and there's no option to remove them. So just be careful
kind of a
about
bummer.
that. Yeah.
But the thing to compare this with is Netflix. That's the price of Netflix. So think of all the things you
That's
get
true.
to compare. Are you going to be getting this?
I don't know. I'm a little shaky about it.
I'm
I'm
probably
definitely
gonna
getting
get it.
Disney Plus, but I don't know about the bundle.
Okay, I
You
got
guys
you.
let us know if you're interested. But we'll see you guys next time on the DBL Stream Team.
Guys, I'm Jeff Schroeder, and today we're all gonna learn something new. We've picked a random word out of the dictionary. I haven't seen it yet. It is spelled phonetically for me, so hopefully I could pronounce it correctly. I'm gonna tell you what I think it means, and then we'll show you down here what it really means. See the word. Here we go. Feels heavy, feels long, feels like a long word. Here we go. Seguidilla. From my hometown, from my heritage, I'm half Italian, obviously an Italian word. Seguidilla. This is what happens when you eat bad clams in Italian. You get seguidilla. I don't think I'm right. I don't think I'm right at all.
Welcome back to DBL. Talk about lucky. A man showed up for his flight to discover he was the only passenger booked on it. This is Victor, who was flying from Aspen to Salt Lake City recently. He documented his trip aboard what he called as his own private jet, kind of. Watch.
Well, the only passenger on this flight, kindly board at this time.
That's me.
Mr. Peone?
Yes, I'm coming.
We're just adding weight to the plane because there are no people.
Good evening, Vincent, and welcome aboard.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to taking care of you today.
Oh, thank you so much for flying me.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Can't wait.
Your private jet.
To the card located in your seat pocket.
Wouldn't you like to fly up and away?
That would be Brandon London, and he'd pretend.
I'd be a
that
jerk
was
and sit all the way in the back and
Look
make her
at
come
him.
to me.
He's ready.
Where's my peanuts?
Ew. We'll see you
Peanuts.
same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Hey everyone, welcome to Coming to America Snackable edition for all the foodies out there. Today, hang on, let me take my knife and fork off. Today I am testing and trying for the very first time a Cinnabon. Cinnabon. It looks like a kind of pastry with, I'm guessing, cinnamon on it, some kind of white sticky sauce. Interesting. And this came in at around $5. $5? You can get a full meal in some places for $5. Like if you go to like, I don't know, KFC or Popeyes or Wendy's or somewhere, you can get like fries, burger, chips, same difference. You know, basically, I'm expecting a lot from this due to its cost, all right? I think that is quite pricey for a pastry. So I'm gonna use a knife and fork because it's a little bit gooey. I'm gonna look where it looks the most. I'm just gonna try and go straight in for the middle. Let's just go straight in. Now it is a bit warm. Oh my gosh, look at this gooiness, wait. Look at that. I mean, it looks very moist. Let's get on in there. Okay, let's have a look. Oh my God, it's falling apart. Right, I've gone straight for the middle, the sweet spot. Okay, sniffing it, it does smell really nice. Smells very sweet, smells fresh. Okay, it is warm as well. Okay, upon the initial lick, I'm feeling it. Smooth and creamy. You know what, that's all right, that is. That is delightful. Oh, get a bit more of that sauce on. What is this sauce? Does anyone know what this sauce is? Just icing. Mmm.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, August 13th. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, a CNN news anchor went off on a heckler. Chris Cuomo threatened to beat up a man who called him Fredo. The whole thing was caught on camera. Watch.
I thought that's who you were. No, from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN. Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother. It's an insult to people. It's like the N-word for us.
Listen, man, I don't have a problem with you, man.
You're gonna have a problem.
What? What are you gonna do about it?
Ruin you. I'll throw you down these stairs like a punk.
And another CNN critic is weighing in. The president tweeted about it this morning, saying, quote, "I thought Chris was Fredo. Also, the truth hurts." He also tweeted this, saying, "Would Chris be given a red flag for his recent rant? Filthy language and a total loss of control. He shouldn't be allowed to have any weapon. He is nuts." So I got to talk to you, Jeff. So first of all, what one person deems as offensive, if that person tells me it's offending them, I'm going to listen to them. Yeah. So that's number one. But given the fact that you are half Italian, have you heard that term? Is it derogatory? What's the history? I just want to learn.
I know it's not a good term because of The Godfather. He was the weak brother. You know what I mean? He staged the whole thing. Well, I don't want to get into the whole thing.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
but in Chris Cuomo's case, really quickly, his brother is Andrew Cuomo. That's the New York governor. So people have called Chris kind of like the failed brother.
Right. I don't know if I'd equate it to the N-word. Okay. Let's just put it that way. I don't think it's anywhere close to that, okay? I've never heard that word to be offensive. Maybe he's in his own head because of his brother, who he is. It offends him a little bit. That being said, I'm on Chris Cuomo's side here. Yeah. You know what I mean? This guy's a punk. Right. He's filming the whole thing. He's looking for an easy paycheck. Yes. You can't just go up to people. I'm telling you, with social media, lines are blurred between what's right and wrong. If Chris Cuomo was nobody, that guy would get his lights knocked out and nobody would say a word. But if Chris Cuomo puts his hands on this guy now his job is over. Well, so it's very tough to.
I agree with you. I don't blame Chris Cuomo for being offended either. Listen. We have two black people on our panel living in America. I'm sure you've been called many derogatory things, including the N-word. How do you handle that, Erica, and what do you make of all this?
You know, I find it interesting because I thought every time I got called the N-word, even to my face, I would be fighting a lot or something derogatory. But I think that there has become this thing where people feel like
that you had to say that. That really is just.
But that's life, Sam. That's just the way things are. And I mean, I grew up knowing that, and therefore I have more control of myself in the situation. But I'm going to be honest, I don't always have control of myself in the situation. And sometimes because people feel like they have very free passes to go after certain people because they feel like you have more to lose, which is true. You should not go against somebody who has nothing to lose. However, sometimes people need to know, if you're feeling froggy, I'm ready to jump. Yeah. So that's what he did. Yeah. People can't just feel like carte blanche to come and say anything to you whenever they want.
It's like the art of war. Like, they have the higher ground. Jay-Z had a line in one of his first albums. He says, if you hit me, you're famous. If I hit you, I'm brainless. Damn. So it's just like one of those things, like, that guy knows he has nothing to lose.
He's hoping for an altercation.
If he can get Chris Cuomo to say something untoward, he can get him fired. If he can get him to hit him, he can sue him and get him fired and be the talk of the town for whatever group he represents.
Well, CNN's defending Chris Cuomo, as well as Sean Hannity, believe it or not, from Fox News. He's also defending Chris Cuomo.
Sam,
So maybe this is a bipartisan
let me have like an air mattress to fall out of my chair.
Bipartisan.
Okay.
Yeah.
People, that shows you how sick people are of having to play victim all the time. Like,
exactly.
Nobody's a victim here.
No, I know. Chime in, DBL Nation. We do want to hear from you on this one. Well, new details in the Jeffrey Epstein case. FBI agents reportedly raided the late billionaire's private island yesterday in the Caribbean. They're looking to uncover more information about possible co-conspirators, among other things. Epstein was found dead of an apparent suicide over the weekend. He had been facing charges of sex trafficking, and attention is shifting to possible co-conspirators, including this British socialite named Ghislaine Maxwell. She has been accused of recruiting underage girls for sex, which she has denied. Her current location is unknown. I mean, Jeff, you've said this. There's many people involved here. We hope that we uncover all of these people and their heads will roll and they don't see the light of day. Just to think that there's a woman out there allegedly recruiting these young girls, acting as a liaison, a woman of privilege who knows who to go to because she's connected, allegedly, to the princes, to royalty, to socialites, is absolutely egregious.
Right. Well, it doesn't matter, man or woman. There are people like this out there, and it's still going on despite what we think about everything. I just don't want to every single day do a story on what we think might have happened. I understand there's an investigation going on. Let's do that investigation properly. Let's get to the bottom of it. But every day, I don't want a new conspiracy about why this man did what he did.
I want this woman's face out there because there are documents.
But we don't know if it's true or not.
Well, there are unsealed court documents showing all the egregious things that she has done with young girls who have accused her of being that liaison, almost like if I were to be recruited for, as I was as a swimmer, to UCLA, there's a recruiter that comes and meets with me, introduces me to the coaches, and did all of that. That's exactly what she's been accused of, and there's court documents proving that. And I want to see justice served. No, they're unsealed now, and I want to see justice served.
I think the speculation comes in as to whether or not she was a victim herself, which, to be honest, doesn't really matter at this point, because I'm not surprised by a woman being involved at all. If you look at sexual assault survivors who are actually
with R. Kelly too,
very, very open, women can be the most brutal on sexual assault survivors. Sometimes that comes from a place of, I made it through. Get yourself together, you make it through too. But a lot of times it just comes from a place of self-loathing, in my opinion. I'm not surprised by this at all.
No, I do hope that they find everybody that's involved. Well, a friend of the Dayton shooter is facing federal firearm charges right now. This is 24-year-old Ethan Calley. He's been accused of providing the shooter with the body armor as well as this 100-round double-drum magazine that was used in the deadly shooting. He also purchased the upper receiver for the AR-15, according to court documents. Authorities say he told them he had done hard drugs, marijuana, and LSD with the shooter before, and he lied on ATF paperwork about his drug use. I'm not surprised by this. If you're going to go get a weapon, you want to go get a gun to protect yourself or for more nefarious purposes, you're going to lie on that form. So what do we do to prevent this? And should he be held liable for being an irresponsible gun owner by lending out his property like it's a freaking handbag?
Have you renewed your driver's license yet?
Yes. Do you know how long it took me and how painful it was and how many different buildings I had to go to and paperwork I had to fill out?
Right. Could you have lied on any of those and gotten your registration redone? No. They make it difficult because they care. That's something that they care about. If you ever try and dig a pool in your backyard, it will be a 2-year process in terms of where you can dig, where the gas lines are, where the phone lines are, zoning, housing authorities. But this is the only thing that those two dumbbells, those aren't mastermind criminals. Did you see his face? There's nothing in that head. He was able to get a gun because he was like, yeah, no drugs here. And everybody's like, rubber stamp, cool. So as long as we're cool with this, as long as it's easier to get an AR-15 with 100 bullets in it than it is for Sam, a responsible, law-abiding citizen.
It's like lending out a pair of shoes. I mean, Erica, you and I are both Second Amendment supporters. We both want guns to protect ourselves, but we are responsible. And yahoos like this are tarnishing it for all the people that really do take their responsibility as a gun owner seriously.
And there are far more people who take their responsibilities as a gun owner seriously than people like this. But this is going to be an amazing time for people to have a very direct, person to look at and a direct situation to think about when they want to aid and abet people who want to do things like this.
So what should happen to this person, in your opinion?
I think, honestly, at this point, I know that the justice system needs to prevail, but I'm not opposed to a public stoning. And that's really, I'm honest about that, like whether that's with words or really, we public shame people for everything. We're not going to publicly shame this person and parade them around so that people have an idea of what can happen to them. I want to see that done.
You're talking about both individuals, not only the shooter, but the person that lent the...
Exactly, because he seems to think like, oh, I didn't do it.
No, I know. Yeah, I agree. Wow, look where we've come. Unbelievable. Okay, chime in.
Nowhere. We're the same place we were year 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago.
I know.
Nowhere. That's where we come.
I know, and we have kids now, and now it's like so much more personal.
Yeah, you could borrow my 100-round AR-15. Yeah. Sure, buddy.
Yeah, I can't even.
Why do either of them have that gun?
Yeah,
what are you doing? Work on your house here? Sure.
You can't even lend out your car if you're not insured.
I know.
Why is it any different with a weapon?
To sit up here and like have a normal conversation
it's unbelievable.
Like to try to be quiet is so frustrating because it's like, what are you talking about? Where are we in society? I'm trying to raise kids here. And my kids, I mean, it's insane that I have to explain it.
What if there was a 4-year-old at that house, and then the 4-year-old got a hold of the ammunition, the gun, whatever it may be, and then that 4-year-old was dead? I would still blame that same guy.
They should make an example of everybody that this happens to. We don't. They should make an example of this person. We're not going to. I mean, it's like you said, Al. You try to build an addition on your house, forget it, man. You're going to be running through the city every single day for papers to try to build that, to get through the zoning, to get through everything. But you could get a magazine with 100 rounds in it from some bozo online.
No. And be using LSD.
I know.
Using LSD
it's just so frustrating and so stupid that we have to talk about this and waste our lives and our breath.
Jeff, they were able to get around our mastermind psychology of just like, do you use drugs? And he was able to put no. So, I mean, he got around our fail-safe. So what do you do?
Right. Thank God for that form and that question.
Can't believe it didn't work.
Thank God for that question. DBL's live coming up. Katy Perry may be known for her empowering anthems, but a male model is calling her out for allegedly humiliating him. Plus, our own Tori Shulman gets busy in the kitchen to recreate a legendary dessert from the Cheesecake Factory. Who doesn't love the Cheesecake Factory? But will she be able to fool our co-hosts? And you, the viewer, are our 5th host after Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth split. People on social media are speculating she may have been cheating on him with a woman, and that's why you shouldn't date bisexuals.
The Cheesecake Factory stinks.
Okay, that comment is terrible.
They have great happy hour.
Comments on that next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, but I think we're going to head to the desk and see what's going on with our host. Let's go. Hey guys, how's it going up here? Yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
What's going on up here, guys?
That was something.
Jeff, you feeling better?
I feel a little better.
A little better?
Yeah. I still have a cough and stuff, and the whole family's sick.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah. Everyone here is getting sick too.
Hey, you only get 10 days off.
That's not my fault. I'm not the boss.
It's not my fault either.
Anyways,
you're
guys.
sick. You're sick.
I'm coming in.
Yeah. I hear you. Believe me.
Kelly, I have 2 kids.
Trust me, I understand.
You don't think I'm going to be sick at least a week out of the year?
Of course. I know. I agree.
100%.
That's what you don't realize is how gross little kids are.
Yeah, and they're in daycare. I'm on 1,000% using half of my vacation days for sick days. Not anymore.
Thanks, Jeff.
I will be here every day.
It's good for my immune system.
We're gonna have the best immune system in the biz.
All right.
Yeah,
Me too. Me too.
Well, I am excited about these next stories coming up,
Easter
guys.
too.
Yeah, well.
Erica, tell us about this photo. So she's magical, right? She is skilled. Talk about her.
Erica's Instagram.
So yeah, if you go to Erica's Instagram, you'll see the most awesome photo of Erica's hair journey. She talks about her hair journey. It's been 7 months, but talk about curl pop.
So I was in Miami for NABJ with Al, and that's where I got my hair done the first time in January before the hair reveal.
Who is this woman?
So her name's Isabella. She is amazing. She is a curly hair specialist, but she deals with all sorts of different curl textures and patterns. She looks at what best reflects your face and the colors, and then like does it for you. Yeah. So a lot of her colors and cuts are like no one else is going
What
to
about
give you
your
that same
hair
color.
journey? Have you learned things? I mean, it takes time, I know. It's been 7 months now. What have you learned?
I learned that I have to listen to my hair and give it what it needs because every single day it needs something different. We were
What about in
Florida.
Denver versus Miami?
Florida
Yep.
was like a totally, like as soon as I walked in, it shrunk up.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. Just an hour after news broke that newlyweds Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth are headed for divorce. Miley was spotted kissing Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn Carter, in Italy. And now some are blaming Miley's attraction to women for the split. Okay, Miley considers herself pansexual, which means she's attracted to people. So DBL Nation, how would you feel if someone you were dating told you they were pan or bisexual? Would that impact your decision and why?
All right, Sam, let's get right to it. Dan from Facebook says, I'm open to dating a girl who's not straight, but the first experience would dictate if we ever do it again. Dan, I think I like that you're open-minded. I think if you guys have a conversation about it, figure out steps, maybe not throw yourselves right into it at first, maybe just invite somebody over and slowly get to know them and take it slowly. Then you have an experience and decide whether you want to move forward with that. So I do like that you guys have had an open conversation and have decided to move on. So good luck to you.
Ashley from Facebook says it's crazy because most of the men I'm attracted to are gay, so I would date someone who is bi and monogamous. Ashley, I think the key word there is monogamy, and just because someone is not necessarily straight, as we know it, doesn't mean that they are promiscuous or need to have experiences with multiple genders, just the idea that they are attracted and being open with you about that. So I think that we get confused about polyamory and maybe menage a trois. If a woman isn't straight, that doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to invite another woman into the bedroom with you.
All right, Jake from Facebook says, I already have a hard enough time making sure women aren't after my man. I'd hate to have to double that duty. I hear you. I think a lot of people feel that way, but I don't know if that's the way it is. Listen, if you have this conversation before you're married or before the relationship, I have no problem with it. If you're 10 years in and you say that, I do have a problem with it because it's like, why are you telling me this? Because you want to act on that? That's the only thing I'm afraid of. Because if my wife said, I'm really attractive to that woman over there, how would she feel if I'm like, I'm really attracted to that lady sitting at the bar while out to dinner?
Right.
That wouldn't go over well.
No matter what.
No matter what. Yeah. So I don't know. You got to have this
yes.
conversation before you start that relationship.
And monogamy is monogamy.
Absolutely.
I think that's the clearest point. Kathy from Facebook says, I would date someone who is bisexual. People need to start loving people for everything they are, not everything they want them to be. Yeah, I would be encouraged by someone and flattered by someone who is pan, because that would mean that they love me for me. And so I think that would be really cool. What I'm nervous about and almost shocked in 2019 that there's such discrimination against bisexual people. We tend to sexualize bisexuality. We tend to think of it as a phase. It's not a phase, and it still falls under that LGBTQ umbrella. And I'm just shocked on the discrimination and lack of education when it comes to...
But look how they're presented in society. You have movies like The 40-Year-Old Virgin. That man was probably asexual, but it's presented as a joke, like, oh, what's wrong with you? Some people don't want to have that much sex. Some people want to have a lot of sex. Some people want to have sex with more than one people. Some people want to have one partner for life. And that's fine, but it's never represented like that.
Right.
It's either heterosexual or just these promiscuous randoms.
Fetishes.
Yes, exactly.
It's terrible. Anyways, thank you for writing in. We do love hearing from you. Coming up on DBL, Drake's got a new tattoo that's ticking off. A lot of Beatles fans, rather. We'll show you what has them all riled up. And in our latest installment of Copycat Kitchen, our own Tori Shulman recreates a delicious dessert from the Cheesecake Factory. Will she fool our co-hosts in the blind taste test? Find out next.
Hi, it's Raquel here with the DBL Digital team. Right now, it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trending news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. Now, when it comes to back-to-school shopping, sales of bulletproof backpacks have gone up 300%. Parents are split on the idea. Some think it's necessary. Other parents worry it'll make their kids scared to go to school. Prices for the backpacks start at around $100. Now, on to some good news for vegetarians. Plant-based food is coming to a stadium, hospital, and school near you. Beyond Meat will soon become a menu option for a major vending company. Now you'll have way more choices than just nachos and that questionable cheese sauce.
It's the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
And could we be any more excited for this news? Friends is celebrating its 25th anniversary by heading to theaters for a 3-night special. This fall, you can catch 12 fan favorite episodes, and let's just call it the one with the popcorn. And let's give a big shout out to all the left-handers out there, like my mom and Joel over there. Today is your day. Did you know only 10% of the world's population is left-handed? But 8 US presidents have been left-handers, along with 1 in 4 Apollo astronauts. So congrats on changing the world. And that's a wrap for Fast Blast. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to DBL. In today's Copycat Kitchen, co-host Tori Shulman takes on the Cheesecake Factory's famous Oreo cheesecake. We have the full instructions at dbl.com/recipes, but first, check out Tori's attempt.
I'm gonna keep on loving you. Thank you. That is Oreo Speedwagon, and I'm here to make Cheesecake Factory's Oreo cheesecake on Copycat Kitchen. Let's go. Welcome to Copycat Kitchen. Meow. We are here with Brandon London. He's already prepared. We're going to try the Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake. I made a dupe. He's going to see which one is the real one and which is the copycat. Are you ready? This is Exhibit A.
Let me reset my palate.
Okay. You ready?
Cool.
And coming in hot. Sorry.
The Copycat Kitchen is the second one.
Okay, you think B?
Yes, B.
Okay. All right, Jeff, for your first time.
All right, my first time in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, open your mouth and take it in. Okay, that's one.
That's good.
Delicious, you like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
Okay, let's see about B. You ready?
Okay.
Choo choo, choo choo. Which one's the copycat?
I'd say B is the one you made.
All right, Steph has probably one of the best palates I know, so she is gonna be good about this. Nice cat work. Here we go, open your mouth. And that's A.
Delicious.
Take it in. Maybe some oxygen with that. Like aerate it. Okay. And then we're coming in.
Oh, wow. Creamy and delicious.
Good. Okay. And B. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
B. Stephanie, which one is the copycat? A or B?
It's got to be. A.
Whoa. You think A is the copycat?
I think it's A.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Thank you for one person doing it. The answer is A is the real, B is the copycat. We tricked Stephanie, everybody.
You would never know.
You would never know. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Good hair doesn't just...
Okay, what's up, guys? Just gonna read some of your comments. We're completely transparent here at DBL. The comments are loading slowly.
Did you get to when it's from Jeremy Hale on Facebook? It says hearts, not hearts.
What
for the bisexual thing?
Oh,
it says hearts, not hearts.
Wow. All right. Jeff, I think what you said was so, just poignant because it was just so succinct. Have these conversations before, because if you have them 5, 10, 15 years into a marriage, then you're going to think, well, they wouldn't tell me. Yeah. And
right?
But if they tell you 5 months into the relationship, look, I feel like this is going somewhere. I really like you. but I don't want to waste any more of your time. Like, this is what I'm into. I'm not saying I'll ever act on it, but just know that this part of my personality exists. So if I ever bring it up or want to talk to you about it going further, just know. And then once they have that conversation, then you can be like, you know what, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or you could say, well, we'll table it for now and we'll get back to it.
Right, and you, I mean, depending on the person, how your relationship is, you could probably tell, like, this person's going to be true to what they're saying. You know what I mean? As opposed to, as a man, I can only speak for me, if you were like 5 years in or 10 years in, you said that you feel a little insecure because you only have the parts that you have to work with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
insecurity
So if you
is a
can't
huge part of
satisfy
it.
your partner with the parts you have and they're searching for other parts,
Right.
even though it's parts not hearts for Jeremy on their own face, I understand the insecurity. You know what I mean?
Also, it's also emotion. Like, I mean, women and men are different. And, you know, I feel like if the woman I'm dating wanted to date another woman, I would at least feel like, you know, well, she can get something from her that I probably can't provide.
Right.
But, I mean, and there's a lot of guys that are cool with this. Some women want to date multiple men and have relationships with multiple men, but they might want you to be the main one or one of the main three. It's just, you know,
it's what you work out. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah,
it's not for me, but yeah.
some people, it just works, you know?
Yeah, whatever.
It flows, and I feel like that's been going on forever, but like you just didn't know. You're like, oh, that's my Uncle Brian, and then that's his friend he brings to Thanksgiving. But then sometimes when they go over his other house, he's got another friend there, and she cooks a great casserole. It's like, you don't realize when you're a little kid, they're like, oh, your uncle had 2 or 3 girlfriends. You know, which is another way to say that, but it's just like that term was never used. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Out.
To each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
Man.
I think everybody would be a lot happier if you just really live by teach their own.
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. A man showed up for his flight and discovered he was the only passenger. Victor recently documented his trip from Aspen to Salt Lake City. Watch.
Will the only passenger on this flight kindly board at this time?
That's me.
Mr. Peony?
Yes, I'm coming.
We're just adding weight to the plane because there are no people.
Good evening, Vincent, and welcome aboard.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to taking care of you today.
Oh, thank you so much for flying me.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Can't wait.
Your private jet.
The card located in your seat pocket.
Wouldn't you like to fly up and away?
That was a handsome pilot. And you had that whole plane to yourself.
I'm like, flying from Aspen to Salt Lake is a pretty baller move anyway.
Yeah, it is. I know. What would you do if you were the only, given your history with some run-ins, you know, being...
I'd definitely make them call every single group number until they got to mine. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's
I love
me.
it.
It's like Meet the Parents.
Yes. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
A male model slams Katy Perry years after starring in one of her music videos. Wait till you hear how his teenage dream turned into a nightmare. Then, Drake's new ink is angering a lot of die-hard Beatles fans. We'll show you the tattoo in question, and Americans say the darndest things. The words we say that foreigners think are crazy when DBL comes back.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here, and I have a story trending right now. It was actually one of the top trending stories that I looked up online, and I don't drink soda, so I'm gonna actually ask Kelly for some help here if she has like a second. Kelly? Nope, she can't. I'm gonna ask maybe Mike Better. I have a question. Do you drink soda?
Do I drink soda?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Would you drink a cinnamon Coca-Cola?
Never.
Would you try it?
What is it?
See, cinnamon Coca-Cola.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't spend money on it.
See, this is like the mixed reviews. Apparently, it was
For free,
all
yes.
the rage in the UK, so they're bringing it to the US, and I'm not quite sure how that would taste. It'd be weird. Would it taste? Would it be just like mixing a Fireball with like Coke? I was trying to think of this. Since I don't drink soda, I can't. What's Fireball?
It's like think of any flavor. Wouldn't you want to try that in a soda? Like, have you tried
those
corn?
freestyle machines?
Have you tried corn soda or bacon?
No. Okay, we have in the back some like really weird flavors
ranch dressing.
Yeah, we have ranch
wing
dressing.
sauce.
Turkey dinner.
Turkey dinner. Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner was one. PB&J.
I just
cream corn. I mean, there's all kinds of.
I'm not.
I say don't knock it till you try it. You know.
It's basically, you just add a flavor and then put sugar in it.
Yeah, that's true. Drop a little piece of corn in, sugar and soda water. Boom.
I'm not
there
sold.
it is.
DBL Nation convinced me otherwise.
See you guys next break.
Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We are live, so let's get to it. A male model is accusing Katy Perry of inappropriate behavior. He starred in her Teenage Dream music video almost 10 years ago. Now, he's saying the pop star was belittling. He says Perry exposed him to all her friends at a party. The model says he's done protecting her image, saying, quote, "I just say this now because our culture is set on proving men of power are perverse, but females with power are just as disgusting." Katy has not yet commented. Erica, if this is true, this is absolutely horrendous.
Right.
So if there's more people at this party, I hope these people stand up and corroborate his story.
The party was 10 years ago, Sam.
I would remember if one of my friends exposed a model's package. I would have hoped that too.
Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of people are obviously talking about this, the fact that there was a power dynamic because he was a little bit older and larger. Yeah, there's been all sorts of things. This is what I wanted to be really, really clear. When I say that where there's smoke, there's fire, that generally means that there's a pattern of behavior. So we're going to see if other people come forward and say, yes, this is her pattern of behavior.
I've seen it on American Idol, Erica.
Right.
Where she kissed a kid without his consent.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry.
We've talked about that.
If that were the roles were reversed, can you imagine the pitchforks that would have come out if Simon Cowell ended up kissing me without my consent and I was a contestant?
Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But my point is that because other people are talking about the fact that she was younger, she was 22, like these are things that we can't say because if the roles were reversed, then it would be a huge issue. So I'm just waiting to see if this is her pattern of behavior, if other people feel like they've been victims.
Yeah, what do you think, Jeff?
I don't know. Like, I just think about if it was the shoes on the other foot, roles were reversed.
If that was Enrique Iglesias,
if there was Enrique Iglesias and he ripped some girl's top off at a party, he wouldn't have a career anymore. So I'm wondering if this does come out to be true, what's going to happen with her career? My guess is nothing. But I'm just saying, if it was reversed, it would
You're right.
it'd be a lot worse.
There's a double standard, but there should be fallout, Al.
Right, definitely. My question to you guys, and you know, I hadn't thought about this. She was 22. I'm not making an excuse, but does that change anything in your mind? Because think about 22-year-old Jeff, 22-year-old Al, 22-year-old
No, that's why I was saying that it's dangerous because 22 is also the year or the age of a college student, and we know what happens on campus with rape.
Yeah. Right.
So 22 doesn't mean anything.
And I would also want to hear how she would, if it is true, how she owns it, right? I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Well, comedian Whitney Cummings shared a topless photo of herself to get ahead of people trying to blackmail her. Earlier this year, she accidentally revealed her nipple on Instagram. Once she realized it, she immediately took it down, but not before internet trolls screen grabbed it. And now they're demanding money from her. But she's not having it, saying, quote, "When a woman is extorted, we have to spend time, money, and energy dealing with it and living with a pit in our stomach about when and how we will be humiliated. y'all can have my nipple. And now Whitney's celebrity friends are sending their own embarrassing photos, posting them, sending them in to support her. What would you do if you were in this situation, Erica?
I probably would get ahead of it and just release the photo.
Right, just be done with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're losing sleep, money.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that I would never be in that situation, but at the same time, I think that means a lot less to me than some of the other things that are far more personal to me being exposed. I think I could let go of a nipple. I don't think I could let go of some other things.
Yeah, I know. Now, is this something that is this only a female problem? Do you ever worry that somebody would go in your iCloud, find a photo that's compromising to you, a nude photo, and post it?
Go ahead and give them the blueprint, Sam. I think that you log on to aljacksoncomedy.com and
But do men worry as much as women do?
I think everybody does, because you can be extorted. I mean, I think it depends on the extent of what you're doing. Obviously, Kevin Hart went through what he went through being extorted about 6-8 months ago. I mean, being extorted.
That's
unfortunately,
it's still extortion, and it's still wrong.
I'm coming around to your side.
Okay.
I'm saying that obviously women are 10 times more sexualized than men are, and they're going to live with for whatever reason, the scarlet letter on them that she is promiscuous or whatever because she took nude photos. But there hasn't really been a guy, because there have been athletes and entertainers that have posted blank pics, and there's no fallout for them.
We saw it with Justin Bieber, where people were posting pics of his private parts, and there wasn't as much outrage when it happened to Justin Bieber. That's a double standard.
If you don't make outrage, there won't be outrage. If you don't pretend, if you don't show that you care about it, you could Google whatever you want right now.
I think it's different for men and women. I do.
I don't think so.
But actually, I'm on your side. I don't think it's fair.
I think it's the situation that you're in. If it was like an embarrassing situation and it was a nude photo that might be incriminating towards that person, male or female, then there's a chance for extortion.
I don't know.
If it's just a nipple or if it's a
No, women get slut-shamed. I totally disagree. Women get look what happened to Erin Andrews. Women get slut-shamed. You shouldn't have been doing that. You shouldn't have taken that photo. You shouldn't have been in a position to put yourself in that position. They get victim blamed. It happens to Justin Bieber, and I think that's wrong that nobody stuck up for Justin Bieber when it happened to him. In fact, everybody was looking online and laughing about it. So I do think there's a double standard there. But I also think there's another double standard when it comes to the scrutiny and victim shaming women get when it happens to them.
But do you think if more women handle it like this, it will go away?
Maybe.
Because I think
Bella Thorne was just the most recent who came out with, no, she released photos because she was being extorted by people who were going to release her photo. I think in situations like Erin Andrews, Whitney Cummings, even Bella Thorne, that's a form of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
It's a form, it's a very violating, so I think that we're talking about two different things. It's not just extortion, it's what you're being extorted for.
Yeah. All right, chime in, DBL Nation. Well, this is a major he said, she said story. A woman is exposing cheaters on the dating app Tinder. She's swiping right on men who say things like looking for something discreet in their profiles. Then she flirts with them to get proof. And then she texts any evidence to their wives. So far, she's caught 5 cheaters. Would you want this to happen to you, Jeff? Meaning on the flip side. No.
Sure.
No, listen to me. That's not what I'm implying. On the flip side, let's say your wife, and I would never insinuate because I know the great relationship you and your wife have, but let's say you were in a different relationship and that wife was cheating on you. Would you want somebody on investigator, in quotes, vigilante on Tinder to tell you?
No, I wouldn't. I think this person needs to get a job or a little hobby of something to do. I'm not saying cheating is fine and they shouldn't. If my partner's on Tinder, there's already a problem. I don't need some weirdo trying to be the internet Batman to tell me that my partner...
I wouldn't want to learn from a weirdo either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to learn that way.
Handle your own business, internet Batman.
Yeah.
Internet Batman or woman. We don't see gender.
Yeah, sorry, that's right.
But Erica, you and I, we always say this, you don't know what's going on in somebody's bedroom. Once somebody shuts that door, you think everybody's got this regular cisgendered heterosexual or homosexual relationship, and you don't know. You don't know. I certainly don't see sex stores closing. I certainly don't see.
But would you want to know? Would you want to know?
People are into all kind of stuff.
Would you want to know, Erica?
I wouldn't want to find out from someone, but I would offer this suggestion to this young lady. Clearly, you're looking for love. The way to do that is to focus on your own situation, not on what's happening with strangers' situations.
Or be an investigator. I feel like she's missed her calling.
That's probably it. Yeah.
I know. All right. Well, A-Rod has been robbed. Oh, no. Raquel, please fill us in on those details.
Well, Sam, someone broke into the baseball legend's SUV rental and stole $500,000 worth of jewelry and electronics. Now, it happened Sunday night in San Francisco. A-Rod was in town broadcasting the Giants-Phillies game, and the break-in took place a few blocks away from the baseball park. A-Rod said in a statement he sad several sentimental items that are irreplaceable were also taken, but he's hopeful police can get them back. And right now, that case is still under investigation.
Speaking of just such a vulnerable place to be in, and you know that all too well, Erica. This happened to you recently.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, someone tried to break into my home. I was at home, and I ended up calling 911, and I hid in the closet. I was in the shower at the time. I hid in the closet on the phone with 911. And as a result, I have gone for gun safety training. This is something on top of what I already had, but just to be able to better protect myself. But what I found to be so interesting about some of those classes was everything that I did before going to that gun range was exactly what they tell you to do. Like, find some way to secure your home. We had cameras, so I didn't actually have to run into the person, which may have saved, I don't know, what could have happened. But also things like making sure that your home is safe around the perimeter, like catchy things like rose bushes. Security dogs. There are so many other things that you can do before you get to the point of, I'm going to protect my home with a firearm. But if you are at that point, I would suggest going to gun safety and training, and also always prepare for something that you never think could have happened, because I was very, very aware that we needed cameras, and I was also aware of where we needed the cameras, and the places where we didn't have the cameras at the time were also the most volatile places, or vulnerable places, I should say. So you trust your gut and protect your space.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Erica, especially something so personal. Well, Drake's new tattoo isn't sitting well with the Beatles fans. The new ink resembles the iconic Abbey Road album cover with all 4 band members and then a 5th figure, Drake. Looking back at them, you'll remember last October, Drake officially surpassed the Beatles with the most top 10 hits in the Hot 100 in a calendar year. Okay, this is so narcissistic.
It's his tattoo. He can do whatever he wants.
If you had a tattoo of yourself on your body, I would say, Jeff, come on, bro. If I had a tattoo
I'm not saying I would do it.
If I had a tattoo on my arm right now with like the Muppet Babies or whoever I wanted to put with me, wouldn't you say that's a bit narcissistic?
Absolutely, but the guy makes an NBA game. The guy makes an NBA game all about himself, so of course he's narcissistic. I'm not sticking up for him, but I'm saying it's his body. Do whatever you want.
Okay, but I can judge it.
Yeah,
you're allowed to
And
judge. I mean, I was just, you know, look, we all measure ourselves, and I think Drake is just like, I did achieve something that he clearly looks up to the Beatles. He didn't pick their name out of a hat. He clearly thinks that he's
looking back at them, really?
Yeah, it's.
So what if it was Biggie and Tupac that he's looking back at? How would you feel about that, Al?
I don't think that'd be good for him.
Okay.
I don't think that'd be good for him.
Okay.
But I mean, I saw the way like our EP Chris, the way he reacted. Like, people take the Beatles very seriously, and it's gonna upset some people.
And what do you think about somebody putting their own face on their own body?
I think that's crazy talk.
Oh, really,
that's
Al?
Craziness.
Can I see? I don't know if our fans know this tattoo that Al has. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, there it is. That's him. I would actually wear that tattoo.
That's cool.
Like
that's
that.
not really
It's my
Al,
old
but
headshot.
it is cool. That is cool. All right, we'll be right back.
Great job with the graphics.
We're up? Alice, that was the first time you saw his tattoo.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Walk right toward her desk and remember.
What's up, Al? Help me out over here.
Abby?
Oh,
Abby.
hi.
Oh, what's up? Exactly.
Jamie. I love Jamie.
I don't know. Oh,
So we were I talked about the break-in, and I just want to kind of like follow up because I think that it's really important that people kind of have these conversations, especially when you don't think that you need to have them. The number one thing before the police officers left was the last officer said to me, like, you did a really great job today, and it took me a couple weeks to understand or like come to terms with that, but it was the idea that like there were so many chances for something to go wrong, and because I was proactive about it, not only was I safe in the long run, but we were also able to catch the guy very fast. So I think it's really important just to be prepared for all situations, and yeah.
The rosebush thing was a good one. I didn't know that. When you said it, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, because, you know, if somebody's going to jump over your fence, then they should get a treat when they get on the other side.
Are there any laws saying, I don't know what the laws are, but like saying on your door or on your gate outside, like, I have a gun, or this how you don't have to do that? Or does it protect you in any way if you do that? Like, I'm wondering what the,
No, it would come down to...
Guys, everyone up. Everyone up.
Okay.
Oh, see ya.
We're getting up.
We don't have enough time. Can't.
Welcome back to DBL. Laughing loudly and grabbing coffee to go, completely normal things to us Americans, right? But to others, it's downright strange and trending on Twitter right now. Non-Americans are sharing the strangest things Americans do, like this user calling Americans out for saying counterclockwise instead of anti-clockwise. We have Stephanie on the panel. She's shaking her head yes. And why Americans are freaking the world out, okay? So here we go. Stephanie's joining us. First up, this user who writes, I just found out Americans say weed whacking instead of whippersnipping. So what?
Sounds like something else.
What is whippersnipping?
A whippersnapper is like a young person. It's like a, your young whippersnapper you.
Right.
So I guess it's something a young person would do.
Oh,
what's
like yard
what's
work
it called?
for a kid.
A weed whacker is like, I'm going to go cut down some weeds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A whippersnapper?
I don't know.
That was a bit confusing.
Okay, well, here's another one for you. And actually, Steph and I just dealt with this situation. Here's one criticizing our buttery popcorn. Just found out Americans actually put melted butter in their popcorn. Melted butter. So Steph,
that's in all caps.
Yeah. And Steph, who's from England, I just made popcorn. I gave her some, and I said, "Oh, I don't know if we have butter." And she was like, "What?"
Yeah, no, we do not put butter on our popcorn.
What do you put on it?
Well, so either we have it with like toffee, like sweet, or salty. That is it. There's no butter. There's no extra ingredients being added.
No
what
butter.
Are you doing? No.
We gotta get those extra 700 liquid calories on there.
Absolutely. Do it. No liquid butter.
This non-American writes, I'm sorry. I just found out Americans still use pennies. This is true. Steph?
Yeah, so I say this sometimes. I'm like, oh, it was like 5 pence, or it was like 5 pennies. But you guys say cent. You've got cent.
Yeah.
No, so pennies was right, no?
What's part of 100?
Is it
it's
100 pennies or 100
1%
pence?
of 100.
1
You said
pence.
pence instead of cents.
Pence, yeah.
Okay.
Pence.
But do you use the equivalent of pennies?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
Does anybody use pennies anymore?
Yes. I use pennies.
For what?
I always put it in that jar to give other people a penny back. I always put it in that
no one
little
reaches
dish.
in there.
If I get,
I put it in a dish.
If my coffee's like 404, I'm like, if you give me 96 cents back, I'm never coming here again.
Yeah. Well, that's why I put the pennies in there for people like you.
Yeah, me too. I leave them.
Cool. This non-American's mind was blown when she found out, Stephanie, that rock melons, never heard of that, are actually cantaloupes. Now, cantaloupe, you never heard the term cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe?
Like an antelope?
It's like the it's our orange melon. Like, have you ever seen our orange melon? I guess a rock melon? That's a cantaloupe.
No. This is like the whole arugula. Wait, what, we call it rocket.
Oh, that's right. When I went to England, they said, do you want a rocket salad? And I said, what is that?
Yeah, I do.
Completely different.
That's a way cooler name.
Okay, here's my favorite one, and I can't wait to hear from Steph. Finally, they're coming after our school spirit. This user tweets, just found out school mascots are real. Americans, are you good?
Yeah, what is this? Why are you all running around in costumes?
You don't do that in
Every
UK?
single school has its own, like, fluffy creature.
I was the Mariners. Who were you? So my school was the Mariners, and then at UCLA, we were the Bruins.
High school, we were the Rebels.
And then what were you in college?
The Spartans.
Okay, what were you in high school and college?
The Bison and the Bears.
Is this, like, really serious?
Yes!
Wait, you have a...
No.
We don't have any of that.
No, and
yeah, we don't have cheerleaders either.
What was
We
the
don't
name
have
of
any
your
of
soccer
this.
team, like in high school?
You didn't have a mascot?
The name of the school.
No.
Like, South Axum, go South Axum.
And nobody's dressed up in like an animal costume?
No.
That's lame. America's got the world on that.
That's funny. That's funny. All right.
missed out.
Coming up on DBL, managing your finances in a relationship doesn't have to be difficult. We've got helpful advice next in Dollars and Cents. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining us.
Hey there, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and today I want to give you guys some red light beauty tips to help you get ready in a flash. Now, today's tip of the day is coming for color correcting, guys. How to get rid of those pesky dark circles underneath your eyes. Now, this is a simple trick that a lot of makeup artists use, but some of you guys might want to dabble into a little bit more, okay? With color correcting, we can use color theory to help correct out dark or cancel out darkness underneath the eye and help to brighten the eye a little bit more than just your average concealer will do. Now, if you're from light to medium, you're gonna need more of a peach undertone. There's layers to this. Now, if you're from medium to deep in your skin tone, you're going to need more of a orange or red. Think of like more of a fire engine red when you're thinking of these colors too. These are going to help to balance out the colors based off of your skin tone in general. For me, I like to go for MAC Cosmetics color correcting sets. They're great for everyday use, and even you at home can use them too. They come with 6 different colors, so you have 4 colors that you can use through the year and 2 color correcting colors that you can use to brighten those under eyes. Now, my main one that you're gonna wanna go back to is that peachy color. So take a little bit on your ring finger if you may. Tap it off right onto your skin and make sure you're going to from your inner corner outwards. Now, you're only using this for a tint. You don't want to cover your eye in red or peach for that matter. Just get a little bit to slightly go ahead and cover up that darkness and tap it out with your ring finger once again. Now, if you have a pencil brush or a concealer brush at home, feel free to use those too, but you're only going to use a little bit once again. Now, when you're all done with that, you'll go ahead and take your concealer right on top and blend it on out. You're ready to go, girlfriend. So, let me know how this works for you and how brightened your under eyes get, and we'll see you next time for another Beauty Blast. Make sure to follow, by the way, on all social media platforms at Jeray for the Slay.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio, and we are talking money in partnership in today's Dollars and Cents presented by John Hancock. Felicia, always great having you here. You always drop some great knowledge for me and the viewers, so thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me again.
Our question today is from Peter through Facebook. How do I deal with splitting up finances with my partner while dealing with our individual debt? We're definitely in it for the long haul, and we want to get better at it.
Yeah, this is a very hard question and it's very tough, but you got to sit down and have communication with your partner. So one of the things I recommend is schedule a day to talk about finances. Put it on a calendar and kind of time it for no longer than an hour. And the other thing is, for the person who has the concern, be open about how you manage your finances and all of your activities instead of pointing the finger. And then finally, recommend some options when it comes to managing the money. So here are 3 options when it comes to tackling money with your partner.
Okay.
So I always recommend combine, divide, or compromise.
Did you make that up?
Yes, I did make that up.
That's great.
I know. So when you combine, you're going to put all of your money and it goes into one joint account where your money becomes our money, and that way we'll pay for expenses and debt together. Now the other way is divide it. We'll split all of the expenses straight down the middle. We will assign whoever is going to pay for what, and also you can decide on how you're going to pay for individual debt, and you can keep it separate.
Okay.
And then finally, with compromise, you can contribute an income-based percentage or a flat amount, and you can also still decide if the individual debt will stay separate or together. So these are just 3 different options, and the biggest thing is it doesn't really matter which one, it's just the one you communicate and agree upon.
Great point.
Yes.
Great point. All right, so Felicia, could you look in the camera and tell my wife I need a couple extra bucks?
I'm staying out of that one.
Good move, Felicia. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love having you here. And to submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Tuesday and we just did a really fun segment which we were talking about different phrases and different things that we have in England and America and how they two differ. For instance, the fact that in England we do not have mascots in college or school. We just don't have it. We don't have any costumes, we don't have any cheerleaders, we don't have any of that stuff. And we don't even have, like you guys are really big on college football, like that's a really serious thing. We don't have any of that. It's just not a thing. People don't go to the matches, they don't really invest in the teams. It's a completely different world. But also you've got to remember that England's very small in comparison as well to America, so I guess maybe there's more people and there's more investment in the sports and industry. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, so we did have a comment from Stephen Hill, and he said, Steph, British spokesperson today, they need, in capital letters, butter on their popcorn though. But why? What does it add? Melted butter doesn't really taste of anything. It's just going to make it go soggy. It's not going to taste good. It's just going to be a soggy, buttery mess. Is it needed? I don't think so. I'll tell you what I did have, actually, when I went to the cinema here in Denver, which we do not have in England, and oh, my mind was blown. It was delicious. I had Cheetos popcorn. Oh, wow, now that
Isn't that just cheddar popcorn, though?
Well, we don't have that either, you see, so for me that was like a huge deal. We just literally have salted, plain, or toffee.
Well, I worked for the BBC for 8 years, so I have a question. I feel like your abbreviations are different than ours. Like you call air conditioning aircon.
Aircon, yeah.
And we call it AC.
Yeah.
But if you're going to abbreviate it, why wouldn't you just abbreviate it all the way down?
I don't know, I actually agree with you on this one, for sure.
Okay.
Definitely, America's got that one right.
And you call a garage a car park.
Yeah, car park.
Okay, what else?
There's so many things. When you've got, let's say, grocery store. We go into the supermarket.
Okay, we got that. Oh, you call it you call it a buggy instead of a cart.
Oh yeah, we call it the shopping buggy.
Really?
The shopping buggy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's so many. We'll have to keep on going with this, but I'm learning a lot about America, and these guys are learning a lot about England too.
I did not know about the butter thing though. That's interesting.
Yep, I'm missing out clearly, apparently.
Oh yeah, just leave her.
Welcome back to DBL. Look at this. A man wearing a TV as a head is leaving old televisions on front porches in the middle of the night, and doorbell cameras are catching all the action. In case you're looking for an old tube-style 13-inch, the so-called TV Santa Claus has your back. I don't want him showing up to my house.
I think I met that guy.
How?
When we went to Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Do we have that picture?
Do we have a... Yes.
Whoa!
That's him, Al. We found
We
him.
caught it.
Did you get a name? Something?
He wasn't a big talker, Sam.
Wow.
Yeah, but I thought that was the heavy.
You couldn't talk through the VHS opening?
No, we didn't have a lot. That's a good idea, though. Next year.
Would you be scared seeing this pop up on your front
yes.
porch? Yeah,
Don't come
we'll
to my
see you
house.
guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, and I do have a breaking news update on Jeffrey Epstein. All week we've been covering his suicide, apparent suicide. Right now we're learning that the warden of the federal lockup where he committed his suicide, he has now been reassigned, as well as the 2 prison guards that were assigned to watch him, that were assigned to watch the disgraced billionaire. They are now being placed on leave. So this is usually typical. During an investigation, they will be placed on leave, but the warden has now been reassigned, so that's kind of interesting. We will be bringing you more on that breaking news coming up here in the break, but I did want to bring that to you right now. We've got a great show coming up besides that story, so stay tuned. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, August 13th. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Tori has the day off. Enjoy, Tori. Let's get right to it. A CNN anchor went off on a heckler. Chris Cuomo threatened to beat up a man who called him Fredo. The whole thing was caught on camera. Watch.
I thought that's who you were.
No, from the right called me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
You're much.
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was our weak brother. It's an insult to your people. It's like the N-word for us.
Listen, man, I don't have a problem with you, man.
Yeah, you're gonna have a problem.
What? What are you gonna do about it?
Ruin you. I'll throw you down these stairs like
And another CNN critic is weighing in. Our very own president tweeted about it this morning, saying, quote, "I thought Chris was Fredo also. The truth hurts." He also tweeted this, saying, "Would Chris be given a red flag for his recent rant, filthy language, and a total loss of control? He shouldn't be allowed to have any weapon. He's nuts." Okay, so Jeff, you're half Italian. Fredo, I've seen it as the term meaning like the lesser of the brothers, and considering Chris Cuomo, you know, Andrew Cuomo's his brother, the governor, maybe this was a sign of an offensive term, or is it more than that? Is it a slur?
I've never heard of this.
As a half Italian,
I've never heard of
this?
Fredo being a disrespectful word, even being equated with the N-word. It's definitely not that. I think it's something a little more personal to Chris Cuomo because of who he is and who his brother is. So I think it hits home a little bit.
Still offensive.
Still offensive, yeah, but I don't think it's derogatory by any means. This guy's a jerk, okay? He's filming it. He's trying to egg on Chris Cuomo. He's trying to get an easy paycheck. I'm 100% on Chris Cuomo's side on this because people just want to pick fights. They want to be known. Look, I got in a fight with Chris Cuomo and he punched me in the face. Now I'm rich. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. The line is getting way too blurred between people who are on television, celebrities, and people who are just regular people looking at a paycheck or striking back on the internet. I don't like this at all. I'm on Chris Cuomo's side. Everyone loses their cool sometimes. Well, don't provoke it.
CNN's on his side. Sean Hannity, you know, from Fox News is on his side. So we're seeing some bipartisan support in terms of Chris Cuomo. But speaking of, you know, derogatory terms, as a white person, I don't get thrown insults at me, something so derogatory as the N-word. I can't imagine being called that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you get it. Look,
how often does, my question here is, how often does it happen in 2019 in America to both of you, and how do you handle that?
Well, I think certain things inflame it, you know, depending on the
But how
topic.
common is it? I'm curious.
I mean, check my Twitter mentions. I've had to block a lot of people, both black and white. You get that. You get called Uncle Tom, you get, you know, Coon, whatever.
Wow.
These are the names that you're called.
What about in person?
For any state. But that's the thing. And I remember listening to comedian Pat Oswalt one time, and he said, you know, I get a lot of hate online for my stances on things, but when I go perform in comedy clubs, I never see these people. They're never waiting outside the clubs. These people don't exist. Now, granted, you do get people like this because there are places like TMZ. If Chris Cuomo hits him, he could have sold that to TMZ for $200,000 and been fine.
That was his goal, I'm
but
sure.
But also, there should be some kind of punitive damage that Chris Cuomo can seek towards this man for inciting violence.
Right.
Because I can't just go get in your husband's face like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
You're right.
Eventually, something's gonna happen. So I think, and it kind of leads into all the stories we're covering today. If we start making examples of people, people will start to get it. Because if I sent you a text, Erica, today, and I don't want to go on, and I was like, Erica, I've got this great idea. It's super illegal. We're going to be sending packages. You would be like, stop right there. I don't want to get in. I don't even want to know about this, because you know, if you're attached to this, there's some trouble for you. If you know that there's trouble for your actions, these goofy actions like this guy, we'll see less of this.
I agree. I think that people are going around saying words like the N-word far more frequently. I know that
to your face?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you handle that?
Well, to me, it's like, that's the best you got. Like, it just feels very, it feels like lazy. Yeah. Like that. That's how I feel about it, because I've been desensitized.
Do you call them out? I know my husband's been called the FA ... word quite a few times. Multiple times recently here in Denver. And he'll call them out, announce it to everybody, wow, you're homophobic, because he wants people to see the homophobe for who they are. Do you ever just announce it?
No,
like
I
publicly
don't
shame
announce it, because I think that the way that you really combat things are to deny people any type of acknowledgement. Yeah. Like, I will deny you your name, I will deny you your existence here on this earth. Like, I don't feel like it really does anything, but I can understand when you've had enough. Like, sometimes if, you know, people are feeling froggy, just be ready for me to jump.
Yeah, amen. Wow. Well, thank you, both of you, for being so honest. New details in the Jeffrey Epstein case. FBI agents reportedly raided the late billionaire's private island yesterday in the Caribbean. And this just in, the Justice Department has temporarily reassigned the warden at the federal jail where Jeffrey Epstein died. The Bureau also put 2 staffers assigned to his unit on leave pending investigations. Epstein was found dead of an apparent suicide over the weekend. He had been facing charges of sex trafficking, and attention is shifting to possible co-conspirators, including this British socialite named Ghislaine Maxwell. She has been accused of recruiting underage girls for sex, which she has denied. Her current location is unknown. And Jeff, there's been some recent documents, court documents that have been unsealed. Really, I know these are just allegations, but really painting her as a very dangerous liaison recruiter to these underage girls.
Yeah, well, they come from somewhere.
Do you think we're going to see other people, though? Do you think we're going to see
so.
her and other people finally see the wrath?
It depends how deep it goes. Does it go into the government? Does it go into places where people can't be touched, where those documents are going to get sealed back up? It depends how far it goes. How much money did this guy have? How deep down the rabbit hole did this thing go? I don't know. He took himself out of the game, so we won't know fully exactly how the extent of what this scumbag did. But I don't know. I don't put anything past anybody anymore. They need to figure out who did this and who this woman is. But in case they do get her, there's someone else in her place. I mean, it's never ending.
I know, but isn't it so frustrating hearing these? I mean, look at his unbelievable, gorgeous island, his homes, his mansions, his apartments. And he was untouchable, Erica.
Yeah.
Completely untouchable. We see the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, the rich be protected. I feel like, is it ever going to change?
Honestly, people talk about race and color as there being a hierarchy, but there is no greater color than green.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you have money, then that makes you untouchable, as we can see. But now we're starting to see that there is this cloak of silence that is starting to dissolve for a multitude of reasons. I would also argue that social media has a lot to do with that, because the way that information is disseminated, it's very hard once somebody puts something out there to put the kibosh on it.
So you think
now
these
people
are
want
gonna
answers.
you think justice is
I do think that people are going to have to answer.
And to your point, nothing happened with R. Kelly until that Lifetime documentary.
Right.
Everybody was fine with that. So, you know, you're exactly right. If you have money, things can continue on. And I had a friend this week that I was talking to in Miami that said her theory was that, like, once R. Kelly started to run out of money, he couldn't pay off the people to stay quiet, and there started to be kind of holes, and that's where it kind of dissolved. But when he was balling, right, you know, it was a tight ship.
Pay people off. Easy.
Pay people off, yeah.
Exactly. Wow, very sad. Well, a friend of the Dayton shooter is facing federal firearm charges right now. This is 24-year-old Ethan Cali. He's been accused of providing the shooter with the body armor as well as this 100-round double drum magazine that was used in the deadly shooting. He also purchased the upper receiver for the AR-15, according to court documents. Authorities say he told them he had done hard drugs, marijuana, and LSD with the shooter before, and he lied on ATF paperwork about his drug use. Here's the thing, Jeff. Like, we have more difficult times getting a driver's license. The fact that responsible, you would hope, these are clearly not responsible gun owners, but a responsible gun owner isn't just going to go lend out bullets like it's a handbag.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not would they ever do that.
So should this person be complicit and held liable?
100% they should be complicit. Not only that, they should make an example of this person.
Yeah.
How you even have one of these weapons, how you distribute it out over the internet or how we got it.
Like it's candy.
This man should be in jail for the rest of his life, if not be put to, I don't know, whatever you guys believe in, but he should be definitely accountable. He should have murder one on his rap sheet. If you helped somebody commit a murder, guess what? You're just as complicit in that murder as they are, even if you didn't pull the trigger or stab that person. Yeah. You're just as complicit. So why isn't this person?
The getaway driver is just as complicit as
so why isn't this
the
person?
bank. But again, we're just so weird about how we punish gun laws, because anything else, if this is, there's this plausible deniability that you just can't hide behind. If I walk up to you, Sam, and I'm like, hey, I've got this paper bag filled with Polaroids. I need you to bleach it and burn it.
Right.
You would be like, get away from me, first of all.
Right.
Because you know whatever's in that bag is bad news.
Right.
And so you can't go after I'm busted for whatever I'm busted. You can't be like, I didn't know. My friend handed me a bag and I just burned it.
Right.
You're part of that. And that's why, and you know that. That's why you wouldn't do that. But people that have guns still feel comfortable exchanging ammunition, body armor, hand grenades.
Not all gun owners. That's,
you know what I mean. The people that.
The irresponsible ones that shouldn't have guns.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, until you make an example of this is what happens when you aid a mass shooting, you are going to pay the ultimate price. I think his parents should pay the ultimate price. Anybody attached to him, he's a dummy. He was texting people, find out everybody that knew, put them all in jail, and all the other dumbbells will see what's going on, and they will stop.
Yeah, and I think drug tests should perhaps be a mandatory thing if you're a gun owner.
We'll see how tough he is in jail, though, when he doesn't have a clip of 100 bullets.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how tough he is.
All right, well, DBL's Live coming up. Katy Perry may be known for her empowering anthems, but a male model is calling her out for allegedly humiliating him. Plus, our own Tori Shulman gets busy in the kitchen to recreate a yummy dessert from the Cheesecake Factory. But will she be able to fool our co-hosts and you, the viewer, our fifth host, after Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth split? People on social media are speculating she may have been cheating on him with a woman. And that's why you shouldn't date bisexuals. That's terrible. We'll share your comments on that coming up next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Happy Tuesday. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you. But I want to know what your DBL take is on our fifth host coming up. Please write us in. We'll be talking about it coming up here. But write us in. I want to know your DBL take on that. But let's go to the desk and see what's going on over here. Hey guys,
but then what about in 6 months?
Yeah, roll with it.
Do it again.
Yeah, I think do they do that in Canada? Do they drug test gun owners in Canada or no?
People in Canada don't have guns. No, it is. It's very
people
difficult.
in Canada
It's
have
far
more guns per capita than in the
but
US.
Not assault.
Right. And
They
they
have
have
weapons
to
for
have
hunting.
their,
Yeah.
I believe they get checks, meaning the government will come into their home and they'll make sure that you have them locked up in a safe, that you have the bullets separate from the gun. I'm just wondering
It's
if they
very,
also
very
have,
difficult.
very difficult, right?
Yeah.
Do they also have drug testing or no?
I don't know about that.
I asked Erica because her husband's Canadian.
Yeah, but I do know, like, I was at the gun range and 2 guys were turned
Canadian?
away.
Oh, okay. Turned away?
Yeah, they weren't Canadian. I don't know if they were Canadian or not, but no, they were turned away.
Why?
Troublemakers.
Because they smelled, the guy said that you smell of marijuana, so they were turned away.
Okay.
Like, they were really vigilant about everything.
Right.
And they are too.
Yeah.
A lot of people are responsible gun owners. People you fire if you ever fire a gun, they're very serious. Like you have to keep it. There's no joking around.
My dad taught me gun safety at a very young age, which I'm sure some people would think is controversial. But my dad grew up with guns, and he's a former military individual, served 2 tours in Vietnam, and thought it was important for his daughter to learn how to fire a gun. And then took me throughout all the way through college, continued to show me gun safety training. I remember when I first got my first apartment, he hung my target sheet on the outside of my door, and it says, "I don't call the cops," meaning like I will shoot you if you come into my house. But he thought that was important for his daughter to know how to use a weapon.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I think it's also important to know when there's a bullet in the chamber. A lot of people don't understand the difference between
or
a
even
bullet.
how to load a gun, Erica.
Right.
How to
They don't
cock a gun,
understand the
load a gun, the
difference
kickback,
between-
depending on what gun you use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Just an hour after news broke that newlyweds Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth are headed for divorce, Miley was spotted kissing Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn Carter, in Italy. And now some are blaming Miley's attraction to women for the split. Miley considers herself pansexual. That means she's attracted to people. Okay, so DBL Nation, how would you feel if someone you were dating told you they were pan or bisexual, and would that impact you in dating them? Take it away, Al.
All right, Sam. Lee from Facebook says, if I was a guy and he told me he was also into men, I'd let him go, but with no hard feelings. Life is too short for that. Lee, good for you. And the reason I say good for you is because you had a conversation with this person, and they gave you the option to stay or to walk. You walked, and you walked on good terms. That's how adults do it. Instead of going 4 or 5 years and then having a weird interaction, you guys talked about it. You didn't waste each other's time. And I wish you guys both the best moving forward.
Tammy from Facebook says, I'm dating a man who is bisexual. He's gorgeous and the best lover I ever had. Okay. He treats me like gold. I'm more worried about women who are curious about what I have and what goes down in our bedroom.
Ooh, Tammy.
Tammy, good for you. Clearly you're doing things right. I would just say the thing that kind of makes me a little nervous about this conversation is the way that we say so gratuitously that it must be because she's bisexual and that she is attracted to people, not just men, which can also fall into various other categories. Just because you are attracted to more than one gender doesn't mean that you can't live a monogamous life. I think anyone who decides to say I do is choosing one person over the multitude of people that they could say I do too.
All right, Celia from Facebook says, I'd be shocked if the kind of guys I'm attracted to were bisexual, and if they came out to me, I'd just no longer be attracted to them because I'm into straight men. Well, see, I think you speak for a lot of people out there. You know, to each their own. You do whatever you want to do. For me, I think, like, I'm going to go back to what Al said. You got to have the conversation before you get in that relationship. Because if you're 5 years in and then you tell me you're attracted to women, I might think that you want to pursue that. I might think that's what you're interested in. You wouldn't like me telling you every day, I really like that woman at the bar. I think she's sexually attractive. So don't tell me about it 5 years later. I won't tell you about it.
We'll just drink our drinks and lie to ourselves.
Exactly.
Yep. Sandy from Facebook says, if you're lucky enough to date someone with no gender boundaries, you might experience for the first time someone who loves you for you and not for the body you're in. Well said, Sandy. I would be so flattered if somebody who is pan or bi, but especially pan, was attracted to me, because then I know that they're attracted to me as the human being. So to each its own.
That's like beating out an open casting call.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, like
right,
when they're casting for just like one type, it's like, oh, I just got to beat out, you know, Chris Patterson. But if I beat out everybody in this room, like, you want to date everybody, and now you chose Al, so I take it.
Yeah, well said. Coming up on DBL, Drake's got a new tattoo that's ticking off a lot of Beatles fans. We'll show you what has them all riled up. And in our latest installment of Copycat Kitchen, our own Tori Shulman recreates a delicious dessert, yum, from the Cheesecake Factory. Will she fool our co-hosts in the blind taste test? Find out next.
Hi, it's Raquel here with the DBL Digital team. Right now, it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trending news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. Now, when it comes to back-to-school shopping, sales of bulletproof backpacks have gone up 300%. Parents are split on the idea. Some think it's necessary. Other parents worry it'll make their kids scared to go to school. Prices for the backpacks start at around $100. Now, on to some good news for vegetarians. Plant-based food is coming to a stadium, hospital, and school near you. Beyond Meat will soon become a menu option for a major vending company. Now you'll have way more choices than just nachos and that questionable cheese sauce.
It's the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
And could we be any more excited for this news? Friends is celebrating its 25th anniversary by heading to theaters for a 3-night special. This fall, you can catch 12 fan favorite episodes, and let's just call it the one with the popcorn. And let's give a big shout out to all the left-handers out there, like my mom and Joel over there. Today is your day. Did you know only 10% of the world's population is left-handed? But 8 US presidents have been left-handers, along with 1 in 4 Apollo astronauts. So congrats on changing the world. And that's a wrap for Fast Blast. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to DBL. In today's Copycat Kitchen, co-host Tori Shulman takes on the Cheesecake Factory's famous Oreo cheesecake. We have the full instructions at dbl.com/recipes, but first, check out Tori's attempt.
I'm gonna keep on loving you. Thank you. That is Oreo Speedwagon, and I'm here to make Cheesecake Factory's Oreo cheesecake on Copycat Kitchen. Let's go. Welcome to Copycat Kitchen. Meow. We are here with Brandon London. He's already prepared. We're going to try the Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake. I made a dupe. He's going to see which one is the real one and which is the copycat. Are you ready? This is Exhibit A.
Let me reset my palate.
Okay. You ready?
Cool.
And coming in hot. Sorry.
The Copycat Kitchen is the second one.
Okay, you think B?
Yes, B.
Okay. All right, Jeff, for your first time.
All right, my first time in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, open your mouth and take it in. Okay, that's one.
That's good.
Delicious, you like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
Okay, let's see about B. You ready?
Okay.
Choo choo, choo choo. Which one's the copycat?
I'd say B is the one you made.
All right, Steph has probably one of the best palates I know, so she is gonna be good about this. Nice cat work. Here we go, open your mouth. And that's A.
Delicious.
Take it in. Maybe some oxygen with that. Look, aerate it. Okay. And then we're coming in.
Oh, wow. Creamy and delicious.
Good. Okay. And B. You ready? Mm-hmm. B. Stephanie, which one is the copycat, A or B?
It's got to be A.
Whoa, you think A is the copycat?
I think it's A.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Thank you for one person doing it. The answer is A is the real, B is the copycat. We tricked Stephanie, everybody.
You would never know.
You would never know. We'll be right back.
Really? That's good.
Hey guys, so you just finished watching Tori's Copycat Kitchen, and Tori, bless her, she made her very own version, let's say, of the Cheesecake Factory's Oreo. I think it was a chocolate Oreo cheesecake, or it could just be called an Oreo cheesecake. I have only been to the Cheesecake Factory maybe, I think, 2 times since I've lived in America, and it is an amazing experience. That cheesecake is the best cheesecake officially I've ever had in my entire life. Although, I will give you this. Tori Shulman made an amazing cheesecake, and I actually got it wrong. They both tasted so good. Either one could have been the actual cheesecake. Both of them tasted absolutely delicious. And that recipe is fantastic. You can go onto the Daily Boss Live website. Go onto the Daily Boss Live website and get the recipe. And honestly, guys, you will have really impressed your friends. It was delicious. It was creamy. It was chocolatey. It was just yummy as ever. So I honestly think, give it a go. Send some pictures actually, and take a picture if you make it and send it in, because honestly, you're going to love it. It's actually a bit dangerous because then you'll end up making cheesecake all the time and it'll be an issue. But anyway, I highly recommend it, and it gave the Cheesecake Factory a run for its money, so just letting you know. Aside from cheesecake, we've got some other things that Americans and English people have got very differently in their lives coming up later on the show. So I'll be joining the panel and we'll be talking about different phrases, different sayings, different things from across the pond that are completely different, that we think are the same, and things that are very, very unusual. So I'll give you a hint of a taster. And one's that in England, we don't have mascots for schools. So you guys have got like people that dress up as like a bear or a bull or like a rabbit or whatever it is that the school's emblem is. We do not have that. It does not exist. So we don't have that. Jeff's just wandering by, munching on a berry or something. Oh, he eats these. Oh, just take a look. Okay, this is another weird American thing. Look at this. Just have a zoom in on that. Jeff likes eating these things, and they're disgusting. It's coffee-flavored jelly beans.
Yeah.
So grim. Who has?
Kelly gave me those like 3 months ago, and I still have a full
He
bag.
really does. Like, yeah, Kelly actually gave it them for ages ago, and he still eats them like casually every day.
You
And they
don't
look
eat them every
gross.
day.
No, you just have one every now and again. It's like a random coffee bear.
So old.
Dude, those things will last through my kids graduating.
I think it's when he gets desperate and he just needs a little bit of a pick-me-up or a snack, maybe, because he didn't nail them all in one go. I'm not joking. If you've ever had a coffee-flavored gummy bear, you'll also feel the pain. They're really gross. He says they're good. They're not good, otherwise you'd have eaten them all like everyone else eats them in a day. I mean, Kelly's shouting behind me. She doesn't eat them either. Let's be honest, if someone gives you a treat, if someone gives you a gummy, if someone gives you a sweet of any kind and it's good, you're going to eat it. You're not going to have one, maybe once a week in a blue moon. Like, ignore that. And if you like them, there's something wrong with you. That's all I'm saying.
Welcome back to DBL. A man showed up for his flight and discovered he was the only passenger. Can you imagine? Victor recently documented his trip from Aspen to Salt Lake City. Watch.
Will the only passenger on this flight kindly board at this time? That's me. Mr. Peony?
Yes, I'm coming.
We're just adding weight to the plane because there are no people.
Good evening, Vincent, and welcome aboard.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to taking care of you today.
Oh, thank you so much for flying me.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Can't wait.
Your private jet. To the card located in your seat pocket.
Wouldn't you like to fly up and away?
That's amazing. Erica, what would you do if you walked in and you were the only person on a plane?
I I'm not sure, but my husband and I just were at a restaurant, and we were the only people at the restaurant.
Really?
And the waitress, we've had her before, and she like gets so happy when she sees us that it's such a great experience. And I was like, it's like a private lunch.
I know.
It's
You're your
amazing.
own private chef.
Yeah.
Fancy schmancy. You would love it.
I would not.
What?
I'm the opposite. No, because
Yes,
then
you
everything,
would.
like, are you okay? Like, I don't want people paying attention to me. Do
You
your
wanna
own
disappear.
thing.
I could just see Jeff sitting in the last seat in the back next to the window, like, just leave me alone. I'm asleep.
I would want to just be left alone.
You
I'd be
would
like,
love
just
it.
check on the drinks
Al
every
would
once in a
love
while.
it.
I'll sit right there and just talk to the pilots. What y'all doing
See,
now?
if I could
What's that?
fly with the pilots, I
would
would
be
love
in there
it.
with the pilots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what I would
Here's
do.
what's coming up next on DBL.
A male model slams Katy Perry years after starring in one of her music videos. Wait till you hear how his teenage dream turned into a nightmare. Then, Drake's new ink is angering a lot of die-hard Beatles fans. We'll show you the tattoo in question, and Americans say the darndest things. The words we say that foreigners think are crazy when DBL comes back.
It's me. Hi, DBL Nation. I was just thinking about that last story. If I've ever been on a plane that was completely empty, I don't think I have, but I have had one where there's no one in my row, so then I could lay down, which made for like the very laziest plane ride I've ever done in my life, and which is probably always weird for flight attendants. When they're like walking over you and you're kind of passed out, you just like kind of quietly walk by. I have been though in an empty train car before and subway car. That's a little freaky because the one time it happened to me, I used to live in London. It was kind of the middle of the day, so it shouldn't have been empty. So then I questioned if it was like in service and if I was like on a broken train heading to nowhere and it was gonna go to stops. But it turned out that just no one was using the train. It was quite the scary experience for me. Kelly, have you ever been on an empty plane or train?
Yes, I have been on an empty plane, but I wasn't by myself. I was with my parents. So it wasn't a big deal.
counts.
And it was a small one like that one on United. Yeah, a small
So
one.
what'd you
I don't
do?
even remember where we were going. I wanted to like Telluride or something. No, I was pretty young, so.
It wasn't that cool
Yeah,
for you
no,
at
it wasn't
time?
that exciting. Now it'd be cool, but it would also be kind of weird too. But I would not want to be on a train car by
See,
myself. That
it
would
was
be
really
creepy.
scary.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
And it was several cars, so I thought it'd be fun to like get into the
Yeah,
other car.
well, run
I was,
down.
like, running down. And then I was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, so
like I wasn't
there's
with
no one
anyone.
around.
It was just actually me.
Oh,
Like you
no, I
can't
don't like
see
that.
the conductor.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Just an
No, thank
empty
you.
Space.
No, thank you.
And just some vehicle moving as fast as it can with no one guiding it that you can
Yeah.
see. I know they're there, so it was just a trust game actually.
Yeah, but you didn't know where the train. Where are they taking me?
Yeah, I was like,
is it out of
stop,
service?
please
Yeah.
stop.
I would have been
Yeah.
scared. DBL Nation.
Let us know. We will
What do you
talk to
think?
next time.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. A male model is accusing Katy Perry of inappropriate behavior. He starred in her Teenage Dream music video that was almost 10 years ago. Now he is saying the pop star was, quote, belittling. He says Perry exposed him to all her friends at a party. The model says he's done protecting her image, saying, quote, I just say this now because our culture is set on proving men of power are perverse, but females with power are just as disgusting. Katy has not commented yet. Erica, we tend to see a double standard, right? Where men are seen to be more of the predator, more perverse, and there may be a disproportionate amount between male and female victims. But in this case, if this is true, shame on her, and will this affect her career like it would a male's career?
Well, for starters, I think anytime there's an allegation that comes to the table, I'm always sitting back waiting to see what else is coming out, because generally when there is a pattern of behavior, you get more than one victim who comes forward. So that's generally when we start to talk about it, but I understand because it's a woman and it's not as common. Let's just be clear, the reason why it's not as common is because there is a disproportionate amount of women who are in power compared to men.
That's an interesting point, but you know, many people are bringing up her kissing a young contestant on American Idol without that contestant's consent, flipped the gender. People would have been more outraged about that if it was a Simon Cowell kissing a young Kelly Clarkson without her consent. This was an individual who had never kissed someone in their life and was saving their first kiss for someone that they are in love with. So that, to me, is a little bit of a pattern of behavior. Let's say this does come out to be true. What will happen to her career?
Nothing. Nothing. But if this was a male, if it was flipped any other, take a male pop star that did this and expose someone else's breasts, let's just say, at a party and embarrass that woman, that person would probably be out of their business. They probably wouldn't be doing what they're doing anymore. This is Katy Perry. It's a woman. It is a double standard. I don't think anything's going to happen to her career.
I agree with Jeff. I mean, unfortunately, but I mean, I think, not that I want to see her career end.
Right.
But I do think that it's going to be a tough conversation for us to have, but where do we kind of draw the line between that was then, we are living in the now? I'm not saying that 10 years ago does not count. It absolutely does. But society was different 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago in terms of what was acceptable on TV, what jokes were acceptable.
I don't know. If I had a girlfriend that exposed a model at a party and just ripped off his pants, I would have a real problem with it.
What I got from that, Sam, that seems like third grade depantsing, you know, when you grab the pants, and that's what it seemed like. That's what I took.
He claims she exposed his genitalia.
No, I believe that everything was exposed.
Right.
It does seem playful and at a party. If it happened in a back room and that's a different thing. This seems like ignorant, immature, playful, probably hammered material. And so I'm not saying...
I know you're not condoning it. Believe me, Al, I know. You're just wondering where's the road to redemption and do people get a second shot?
Because Al Franken took a stupid picture on a USO tour
with
15 years ago and lost his... but then other people like James Franco are still working.
I get what you're saying, Al, because I don't want you to go into, like, you know, the you're bad zone. If we really took a survey of this room and asked how many guys have been depantsed, probably most of them would raise their hand. If you said how many girls have had their shirts ripped off and their breasts exposed, likely you wouldn't have as many people who do that or raise their hand, because that's not as common as what you're talking about. So I do understand that there is kind of a double standard and kind of,
It's just weird. We weren't there, but it's just, you know, it's just a weird situation we're all in.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep. All right. Well, chime in, DBL Nation. Comedian Whitney Cummings shared a topless photo of herself to get ahead of people trying to blackmail her. Earlier this year, she accidentally revealed her nipple on Instagram. Well, when she realized that, she immediately took it down, but not before some internet trolls screen grabbed it, and now they're demanding money from her. But she's not having it, saying, quote, "When a woman is extorted, we have to spend time, money, and energy dealing with it and living with a pit in our stomach about when and how we will be humiliated. Y'all can have my nipple." And now Whitney's celebrity friends are sending her their own embarrassing photos in support. Do men, I mean, you have a lot of followers, Jeff, coming off of Big Brother. So you have a lot of people that follow you, adore you, but then there's the internet trolls. Do you worry that somebody would ever do something like this to you?
Well, I don't take pictures like that, but I was locked up in a house for months at a time with cameras everywhere. So there might be pictures floating around of little Jeff somewhere. You know what I mean?
Little Jeff somewhere.
But the thing is, if you don't care about it, people don't care.
That.
How do you? Well, I mean, I'm Big Jeff. I can't be as big as Big Jeff.
Word on the street is nothing can.
All right, we're going down a weird road here. Everyone knows what I'm saying.
But do you fear that somebody will try to blackmail you?
But if you don't care, how are you going to blackmail somebody if you can't be blackmailed? If they're like, I have this picture of you, and I'm like, go ahead, put it on your Twitter. You can't blackmail someone if they don't care.
But I think women are afraid that then they'll be blamed, victim shamed, slut shamed. I think there's a double standard there.
My first thought,
you had a nipple slip.
My first thought would be,
what people said
my
about
kids are going to see it. I would be like, my kids are going to see it. That's what will really get to me. And like, if you felt like you had the financial means and like, just give this person $10,000 and make this go away. It's a thought that I think a lot of people
how do you know it's going to go away?
Right.
I don't trust that person.
Exactly.
What, you don't think they made copies, Erica? And in 2 years, when they're broke, they're not going to call you again?
I would rather see them go to jail for extortion, and then whatever happens to the photo happens to the photo. But if that's the route you want to take and you think that you're going to get rich quick off somebody else's labor, you can go to jail.
Erica, I have the best solution. send them to jail for extortion, and then every day mail them that picture. Every single day. Even weekends, I just mail them that picture every day.
There you go.
Hope it was worth it.
That's a lot of it.
I'm in Tahiti.
Yeah, no, too much effort.
Yeah,
for me.
way too much effort.
I think Tahiti's really far.
Yeah. This is a major he said, she said story. A woman is exposing cheaters on the dating app Tinder. She's swiping right on men who say things like looking for something discreet in their profiles. Then she flirts with them. She gets her proof. Then she takes that proof and texts it to their wives. So far, she has caught 5 cheaters. Jeff, what do you make of this?
I think this girl's a loser, and she needs to get a job and do something productive with her life.
No, but what do you really think, Jeff?
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, that was a good one. No one else appreciated it.
No, they did not.
But you know what I mean? It's like, listen, I don't condone of cheating or anything like that. But mind your own business. You know what I mean? If my wife has Tinder, something's probably up. I don't need some crazy person telling me that my wife is cheating on me or vice versa.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mind your own business. Plus, you don't even know the situation of what's going on. You're like, oh, I text this person and they text me back. Like, what? Who are you? Where are you coming from?
I think this is a deeper seated problem because here's someone who had the foresight, I want to meet someone, let me go on dating apps. Then you go on dating apps and you're trying to save other people's relationships.
She said she's been cheated on before.
I know, and now we understand why.
Yes.
No.
Or she's
Erica, that's what I thought.
No. Or she's hurt and she's trying to retroactively make up for it.
If this is what you're doing, these people are likely, whatever the situation is, they're going to ride away in the sunset and likely be okay. You're still going to be by yourself and trying to find people and bust them for things that you don't even know about.
And
so what is that all about?
Can you imagine how gross you would feel? Like, I would never want the confrontation of getting in between a marriage. Like, I would never want to be like, here you go, and then knowing that that's going to create, especially if there's kids, it's going to create, I mean, of course, you blame the person that's cheating, not this woman that discovered it. However, you're putting yourself in such a toxic environment. What does that say about you almost seeking out toxicity?
You know, later for this woman, but just like, just as eloquently as Erica explained that, everybody needs a good friend. Erica, you could fix her over a 3-glass of wine lunch. You know, just sit down and talk to her and be like, this is why what you're doing is counterproductive.
Call the
You know?
It's unhealthy.
And it's just
unhealthy.
like, and she's like, I know she thinks like, nailed another one, but she still feels empty inside. You're not going to feel happy just destroying other relationships.
True, very true. Well, Drake's new tattoo isn't sitting well with Beatles fans. The new ink resembles the iconic Abbey Road album cover with all 4 band members. And then a 5th figure, Drake, looking back at them with his hand up. You'll remember last October, Drake officially surpassed the Beatles with the most top 10 hits in the Hot 100 calendar year. Yep, I think this is disrespectful.
Really?
I do.
Are you biased because you have an Abbey Road photo?
I do have an Abbey Road photo.
I don't know if we can really
have an Abbey Road photo.
I think the
What's
jury's
wrong
a little
with
weighted
that?
here.
There's me and my family.
Is Drake right in front of your husband right there?
See, at least we're like paying homage. Like,
we're not. Time it so the bus isn't about to kill you guys?
No, it's actually a cool video because the bus comes in at the very last second and it almost hits us. So
who's filming that?
So there's so many people that line up. You all exchange cameras.
I was going to say, I hope no one in your group and they missed out on that photo.
No, you all exchange cameras. There's loads of people that line up to do this because it's such an iconic album cover. But I mean, think about it. Like, who's like your favorite artist, Erica? Would you like it if Drake placed himself in front of Lionel Richie and then wave him back at him?
What if he did it in front of Beyonce?
Or Beyonce? Don't you think that's disrespectful?
You think that if Drake placed himself in front of Beyonce, I would have to say something about it?
Oh my God.
Have you heard of
He would have to go into hiding.
That's so true, Erica.
Like, I wouldn't have to say anything. That's just kind of like, that's like, take care of your lightweight situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Listen, I'm not a Drake fan. He's narcissistic. He makes NBA games all about himself. This is par for the course. It's his body. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, but what if your best friend did this? What would you say to your best friend?
Oh, my God. I would kill him relentlessly for the rest of his life. Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, well, coming up on DBL, relationships and money, they go hand in hand. And we've got tips on splitting finances the fair way in dollars and cents. But first, turns out we Americans are kind of weird. We got a crazy list of the top things foreigners find strange when we come back.
Yeah, so they took. So they're gonna.
Thank
Cool.
you, Taylor.
Thanks, Tay
Our
Tay.
wonderful producer, Taylor.
Yes, she is awesome.
I was telling.
Okay, this is an interesting perspective because we were all pretty much unanimous on the cheating, Tinder, the woman getting involved. So we have Sandro Cerna. She says, I'm sorry, but if someone knew that my girlfriend was cheating on me, I would so much appreciate if they told me that instead of me finding out years down the road. I understand that perspective too. I just wouldn't want some rando writing me. It just feels so toxic. But I understand why you would want to know. Believe me, I would want to know too, but I just don't need to hear it from a rando because I feel like it just feels so invasive.
I don't know if you guys have ever been cheated on, but do you feel it? Like you said,
of
Jeff,
course.
If your
you know what's
spouse
going on.
has a Tinder profile, that means that, like, most people don't live in downtown Bangladesh with 1 billion people. You probably live in a regular American town with 20,000 people in there.
But you said you felt it?
So if you
Yeah,
know
of course
that
you could tell. You know the relationship's not going good. You know what all the excuses. Hey, let's go out tonight. No, I can't. I'm going out with my friends. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially now, if you look at somebody's app, like their phone, you just go into their phone, you can find out if they're cheating or not. If you want to be that, I don't like that kind of relationship. I don't do that.
Yeah,
but if you feel like something's going on, something's probably going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Never
you don't need some
thought to look at my husband's
weirdo
phone.
vigilante figuring it out for you. You know what I mean?
Weirdo vigilante.
Welcome back to DBL, laughing loudly and grabbing coffee to go. Completely normal things to us Americans, right? But to others, it is downright strange. And trending on Twitter right now, non-Americans are sharing the strangest things us Americans do. Like this user calling out Americans for saying counterclockwise instead of anti-clockwise. Who knew? Obviously, we need some insight. So joining us is our very own Brit, not you, Al, co-host Stephanie Jones. We're going to read some more examples. And Steph, we want you to walk us through it, okay? Okay. So why Americans are freaking out the world. Here we go. First up, this user writes, I just found out Americans call mince ground beef, and I'm not okay.
Yeah, you guys, this is really confusing. You just want to go get some mince to make a spaghetti bolognese, and people are looking at you like a crazy person. That's what it is. It's mince.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. I'm
It's
confused.
mince.
It's mince.
You've ever heard the saying mince meat?
Yeah,
it's
mince meat.
like
So you would
making
never
it
say ground.
No, it's not. No.
You say mincemeat instead of ground.
Mince.
Right.
We say
Mince.
both, though.
Mince.
I think we say ground. I don't
We
hear
use
mince.
we use mincemeat as like a bad
hear
thing. Like I'll
mince.
turn you into mincemeat.
Yeah, like a
but I wouldn't
term
say I'd turn you into ground beef.
Like from Different Strokes, what the Gooch used to
The
say.
gooch, yeah.
I'm gonna turn you into mincemeat.
Anybody remember
sucker.
the gooch? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
400
sorry.
years old.
Sorry, Steph. That's an American term too. You know who the
No
Gooch is.
idea.
This next one, Steph, you and I were dealing with this earlier. Here's a non-American criticizing our buttery popcorn. Just found out Americans actually put melted butter in their popcorn. Melted butter?
Yeah, what is with you with this? So there's only 3 types of popcorn, Sam. One is salted, we've got sweet, which is kind of toffee-y, and then we've got plain. Who's
butter?
melting butter and pouring it on, making a soggy mess of what does melted butter even taste like? Nothing. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah, cheddar.
Yeah, eat that with cheese.
Weird.
Okay, so how do you get the cheddar and the caramel together if you don't have cheddar? Hello?
What, you mix this together? What,
Yes.
Erica,
I don't like
what
that.
is
I don't like
wrong
it
with
together.
you?
You gotta go
Okay,
to
I'm
Chicago.
going to order Garrett's popcorn, and then you'll see what's wrong with
Okay.
me.
We'll let you try it, Steph.
Christmas time.
Here's another food mistranslation. Just found out Americans call fish fingers fish sticks.
Not fish sticks, they're fish fingers. They are fish fingers. They are fingers of fish, and they are breaded and delicious with ketchup. Fish fingers.
Okay. Okay, so they're coming after our school spirit now, too. This user tweets, just found out school mascots are real. Americans, are you good? Wait, you don't have mascots?
We don't have cheerleaders, we don't have college football, we don't have mascots. None of this exists in our world.
Is it weird to you that we all had, like, for instance, I was a UCLA Bruin, so I had a bear jumping around at my football games. Is that weird?
That's awesome.
We were the Trojans.
what does that have then? Like a helmet?
Like a fighter.
There was a Trojan.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What were you?
For what? College?
College.
Spartans.
Okay,
See,
what were you?
I might be on Steph's side on this.
No way.
I think it's embarrassing that a gigantic bear comes out
I
at
like
halftime in
it.
front of a bunch of adults.
I love their mascot.
I'm almost. It's just some weird bobblehead, and everybody
It's not
goes
a weird
crazy.
bobblehead.
You're in your
Usually-
40s.
What do
I'm
you
on Steph's
mean?
side.
Usually the mascots can do
It is
flips.
a little weird. It is a
Mascot
little
does
weird.
flips.
A lot of them
Are you serious? You get scholarships for being a mascot. The
With that
athleticism in
gigantic head, they can do flips.
ridiculous.
I'm sorry. It's
ridiculous.
We're going to talk to you guys about weight
Erica?
imbalances.
Dude, college game day's around the corner. Shame on you.
What is? How do you not pay attention to
How's
what's
Corso
happening?
supposed to pick his favorite?
Al,
when
I
he's using the head?
appreciate you.
I got your back,
appreciate you, Al.
Steph, if
Where's
you
my
saw
Ric
the
Flag?
athleticism amongst these mascots, I think you'd be on our side.
Okay. Maybe I need to learn this too.
We'll YouTube it with you later. And finally, this non-American is shocked and appalled to find out Americans don't have green or purple Starburst in the original packet.
Wait. You don't have
No,
green
that sounds
and purple.
amazing. I want a green one.
Green, lime, delicious and
Ooh, I kinda
zingy.
want that.
Purple is grape and it's delicious.
Can we
it
replace
melts in
orange
your
and
mouth.
yellow with those
Gorgeous.
two flavors? Because
No,
orange
just
and
yellow.
yellow are horrendous.
No,
They
lemon and
bring down the whole pack.
No, lemon and orange. And let's all be honest, we all love a red Starburst. We
Yes,
all fight
yes.
over that red.
Yep, we all fight for the red.
It's pink
Purple
all
is
the
a
way.
second close.
I
Red and
like
pink.
the green.
It's red and pink.
The green's a great
We got
idea.
green and tropical. The limes in our tropical Starburst.
That's a good
You
point.
guys
Yeah,
are
we have
missing
tropical.
out. You need the green, and you need the purple, and you need it now.
Thank
we
you,
go.
Steph. We love you,
Steph
girl.
running for president
Thank you.
2020.
Coming up on DBL, managing your finances in a relationship, it doesn't have to be difficult. We've got helpful advice next in Dollars and Cents.
What's up, Beauty Blast? I'm Jure for the Slay, and today we're talking a little beauty tea gossip. Now, a lot has been going on in the beauty world lately, but one new collaboration is setting a new record for everybody, all right? Drybar and IT Cosmetics has collabed together for a brand new product launch coming August 1st. Now, can you guess what it is? Now, let's think about this. They're both cosmetic companies. Drybar does hair, IT Cosmetics does skin and makeup. What could they do in common? Oh yeah, lashes. Lashes have hair, right? And we use them in makeup as well, so it kind of makes sense. Guess what? It is a mascara that they're making for us guys. This mascara looks like it's out of this world, and it actually combines two great features from both companies. Now, IT Cosmetics came into play and actually gave those great killer ingredients that it's so well known for. Biotin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid too, all to help hydrate and lift those beautiful lashes and keep them looking pretty. Drybar came in and said, let's make it look just like what everyone wants. Let's give them what they want, let's say that. Volume, guys. They actually took the idea from their volume-based hair products and they actually created this little mascara brush that looks just like their round brush. Crazy, right? Now, it even went as far as to having little yellow balls on the tips of the brush to actually separate and define the lashes, which I was like, okay, y'all might be trying it a little bit too much. Now, with this mascara, it actually is going to be having an amazing finish and it's supposed to give you that beautiful lift and curl. So we're gonna try it out and see just how it does very soon here. Now, it launches on August 1st, so hopefully we get it once it gets into a retail store right away. So, for more beauty gossip, make sure you check out more Beauty Blast and check out my social media platforms at Jure for the Slay. We'll see you guys next time.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio, and we are talking money in partnership in today's Dollars and Cents presented by John Hancock. Felicia, always great having you here. You always drop some great knowledge for me and the viewers, so thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me again.
Our question today is from Peter through Facebook. How do I deal with splitting up finances with my partner while dealing with our individual debt? We're definitely in it for the long haul, and we want to get better at it.
Yeah, this is a very hard question and it's very tough, but you got to sit down and have communication with your partner. So one of the things I recommend is schedule a day to talk about finances. Put it on a calendar and kind of time it for no longer than an hour. And the other thing is, for the person who has the concern, be open about how you manage your finances and all of your activities instead of pointing the finger. And then finally, recommend some options when it comes to managing the money. So here are 3 options when it comes to tackling money with your partner.
Okay.
So I always recommend combine, divide, or compromise.
Did you make that up?
Yes, I did make that up.
That's great.
I know. So when you're combined, you're going to put all of your money and it goes into one joint account where your money becomes our money, and that way we'll pay for expenses and debt together. Now the other way is divided. We'll split all of the expenses straight down the middle. We will assign whoever is going to pay for what, and also you can decide on how you're going to pay for individual debt, and you can keep it separate.
Okay.
And then finally, with compromise, you can contribute an income-based percentage or a flat amount, and you can also still decide if the individual debt will stay separate or together. So these are just 3 different options, and the biggest thing is it doesn't really matter which one, it's just the one you communicate and agree upon.
Great point.
Yes.
Great point. All right. So, Felicia, could you look in the camera and tell my wife I need a couple extra bucks?
I'm staying out of that one.
Good move, Felicia. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love having you here. And to submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
Back to the DBL Stream Team, where we talk trending shows on Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. I'm Leo, here with Kelly, and let's dive into our first one, the Hulu original 4 Weddings and a Funeral, based off the movie, and it actually stars the girl from Game of Thrones who plays Missandei. She's in a lead character role. She doesn't feel like Missandei in this series, but
I can't look past Missandei.
Yeah?
I
Do
can't.
you feel like when you see her, that's all you envision?
I do. I think she's one of those characters that I can't
no.
get past the Game of Thrones thing. So that was the first thing for me. And then I couldn't, and I know I shouldn't compare it to the movie because it's a 10-episode series, but I couldn't help but compare it to the movie. The movie was such a good rom-com. It's a classic rom-com. Everyone loves that movie. And this just like didn't match up for me.
And it didn't really, it had the drama.
It
let
did.
me say this. The first couple episodes had the drama.
Yep.
It had the heart intense action.
Yeah.
But it just,
And then it was
after
kinda,
that, it kind of just went downhill, unfortunately. I would say after the second episode, things kind of just started
Which is
falling
a
apart
bummer
little.
because writer and producer Mindy Kaling, I love her, but I feel like
it could be a little bit more effort.
I
on
do,
that
I do,
department.
and I can't help but compare it to the movie. So
Yeah, but
that's a big
hey,
part of it.
check it out streaming on Hulu now. And our classic pick this week is on Netflix, so you guys can join in. It's the Andy Griffith Show. About Sheriff Andy, you know, and his antics, and there's really no crime that happens in the town, so it's just a lot of shenanigans and a lot of comedy
shenanigans, if
for
you
most
will.
of it, and with him and his son Opie, and yeah, check that out streaming out on Netflix
Classic
now.
show.
And a brief update on the Disney Plus streaming service. They actually are releasing a new package to bundle together with Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney Plus for $12.99. But the Hulu on the subscription does have ads, and there's no option to remove them. So just be
That's
careful
kind of a
about
bummer.
that. Yeah.
But the thing to compare this with is Netflix. That's the price of Netflix. So think of all the things you
That's
get
true.
to compare. Are you going to be getting this?
I don't know. I'm a little shaky about it.
I'm
I'm
probably
definitely
gonna
getting
get it.
Disney Plus, but I don't know about the bundle.
Okay, I
You
got
guys
you.
let us know if you're interested. But we'll see you guys next time on the DBL Stream Team. Guys, I'm Jeff Schroeder, and today we're all going to learn something new. We've picked a random word out of the dictionary. I haven't seen it yet. It is spelled phonetically for me, so hopefully I could pronounce it correctly. I'm going to tell you what I think it means, and then we'll show you down here what it really means. See the word. Here we go. Feels heavy, feels long, feels like a long word. Here we go. Seguidilla. From my hometown, from my heritage, I'm half Italian. Obviously an Italian word. Seguidilla. This is what happens when you eat bad clams in Italian. You get seguidilla. I don't think I'm right. I don't think I'm right at all.
You're welcome.
Welcome back to DBL. Look at this. A man wearing a TV as a head is leaving old televisions on front porches in the middle of the night, and doorbell cameras are catching all of the action. In case you're looking for an old tube-style 13-inch, the so-called TV Santa Claus has your back. Erica, would you want to see this showing up on your front porch?
No, and I'd be calling the cops.
Right.
Because we don't know what's in that TV. We don't know the reason why you're on my property, leaving random hunks of junk on my...
Hunks of junk.
Seriously, no.
Why is he equating himself to Santa Claus? Nobody wants that on their front lawn.
Yeah, if you were bad that year, maybe. Yeah, I think I actually met that dude.
What do you mean?
Me and Jeff.
Where?
Comic-Con, remember?
What?
Yeah, I do remember that.
No way.
Yes.
See, that's not normal. So, meaning like...
Thank you, Sam, for that hard-hitting commentary.
Meaning you're not
If you take anything away from this show today, it's that that's not normal walking around the TV.
Right, so it might be the same person.
Hey, we might have caught him.
Well, you don't know the name or anything, so
No,
good
Sam,
job.
I didn't get his Twitter handle. I think he's
Should have.
gone.
We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Good investigative work, Al.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert here, the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you. But right now, I'm gonna go to the desk and we're gonna tell you about In the House. In the House, it's time for In the House with Kelly Schubert and Jeff Schroeder.
Organize your pictures.
Are you listening? We're live here.
I was enjoying this song.
Aren't you excited about our Big Brother podcast called In the House that's on Google Play, iTunes,
That was a good.
Stitcher,
Yes.
Google Play,
Or you can get by like
You're real
Spotify.
Well, it's me and this.
Yeah, yeah.
Tune in.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
I did it. I got all five. Guys, if you've been with us, every time I try to promote the podcast, I just cannot get it right. I try to get Stitcher right, and I keep calling it Twitcher.
Okay, cool.
People
good.
are talking about Emilio over here. I don't know what's going on. But our
good
podcast is
call.
called In the
I don't like
House.
it
It's
either.
Big Brother podcast. Jeff, of course, is a former house guest. Oh, he's back. Now he wants to be involved. Jeff, what do you
Sorry,
think
I'm
of our
getting ready
podcast?
for a show.
Nah. Podcast is more important. What do you think of our podcast? Are you liking it so far?
It's nice. It's 10 minutes. It's fast.
We get in, we get out, we talk all the crazy stuff going on in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell us what. It doesn't matter if I like it. It's what if you.
It does matter if you like it. You have to put your passion into it.
I don't care.
Steph, you love our Big Brother podcast, don't you?
Yeah, I think you guys rock it.
Yes. See?
Team.
How would you think of last week's episode specifically?
Not listened to it yet.
She hasn't listened to it yet. That's okay, Steph. We won't fault you for not listening to last week's, but if you want to listen to it, it is on Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Play, and Spotify. Nailed it!
Hey, you can use my stitches.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, August 13th. I'm here with Stephanie, Erica, and Al. I'm Jeff. Tori has the day off. Good for you, Tor. Let's jump right in, guys. A CNN anchor went off on a heckler. Chris Cuomo threatened to beat up a man who called him Fredo. The whole thing was caught on camera. Let's take a listen.
I thought that's who you were. No, from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN. Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother. It's an insult to people. It's like the N-word for us. Listen, man, I don't have a problem with you, man. You're gonna have a problem. What? What are you gonna do about it? Ruin you. I'll throw you down these stairs like punk.
And another CNN critic is weighing in. The president, he tweeted about it this morning saying, quote, I thought Chris was Fredo also. The truth hurts. He also tweeted this saying, would Chris be given a red flag for his recent rant? Filthy language and a total loss of control. He shouldn't be allowed to have any weapons. He's nuts. And Chris has responded saying he should have been better. He should have been better than the guys baiting him. I'm sorry. So
You know, I agree with Chris on this one. Number one, I don't know why the president's getting involved in this thing. I would hope you have better things to do. This is ridiculous.
Well, there's nothing going on in the country right now, Jeff,
I know.
so.
That's ridiculous. That's the least I want to talk about here. Yeah. But Chris Cuomo, I'm on his side here. You know what I mean? People baiting people like that, like I just said, like he just said, you can't be baited like that, but sometimes things come to a head. Chris Cuomo's a normal, regular person, just like that guy baiting him. And you don't, that guy is not just getting in an argument with him if he's filming the whole thing. He's doing it for a reason. So I'm on Chris Cuomo's side on this one.
Yeah, I think that there has been this kind of like free-for-all on public figures, where the public figure can't say or do anything, and then some idiot who woke up and decided that they were going to make a name for themselves based on the hard work of someone else comes up and tries to get a moment from that person who's worked hard to be where they're at. I think that it's okay for people to understand that everybody's not going to be free reign in order to do that, and that if you want to get froggy, you might want to be ready to jump, because at any point, this man, Chris Cuomo, could have reacted in a very volatile way. Is that what the person wanted? Yes, but do you really want that in the end? Probably not. So I think that we should just be very clear that it's not okay to just go up and say things to people regardless of who they are.
Well, it is okay, Erica, because there's been no examples of like anybody doing that and being punished for it. The first word that came to my mind when I saw this was entrapment. How is this not? He's baiting him into committing a crime. That's basically what he's doing. He was trying. When you say, "What are you going to do about it?" That is him. He came up. He insulted him. He insulted his family, and then he said, "What are you going to do about it?" And he was this close to him. That is the way that you start a physical altercation with somebody. And like you said, like the great Jay-Z said, "If I hit you, I'm brainless. If you hit me, you're famous." And he knows that before he leaves the house, before he turns his camera on. I'm just going to keep calm. I'm just going to keep needling Erica. I'm going to keep what? I'm not doing anything. What's wrong? What? We all know what you're doing. And it's the fact that that's not prosecuted in some kind of way. I don't care if it's just a public misdemeanor, 100 hours of community service, something needs to be done.
Yeah, I just think it's a shame on this guy. I mean, I echo everything that Erica and Al have just said, and everything that we've all just said. Literally, he's doing this on purpose. He's doing it for reaction. He's clearly filming it without, obviously, this gentleman even knowing, because he's filming at a very weird, strange angle.
Oh, yeah. Because he's a weird, strange person.
Yeah, he really is.
So the angle just matches up.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just think shame on him. Have you not got better things to do? Have you not? Can you not be just a better human? Like, seriously, what is wrong with people?
Exactly. And for the record, I'm half Italian. I've never heard of Fredo as an
I've never heard of it. Is that like a really bad thing?
I've never heard of it. I can think
well, you know it's not a compliment, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, to equate it to the N-word.
Right, yeah.
I don't think there's an English word out there that could equate to the N-word.
I think maybe to him, because of who his brother is,
that
might be the N-word just to him. Because I'm sure he's probably gotten that a lot. That sounded like something that's in chat rooms on the other side that they call him that. That's so, and I'm sure he gets that on Twitter. That's why he reacted so.
It was personal.
Yeah,
it was personal.
He's gotten that before.
All right, guys, let's move on. New details in the Jeffrey Epstein case. FBI agents reportedly raided the late billionaire's private island yesterday in the Caribbean. And this just in, the Justice Department has temporarily reinstated the warden at the federal jail where Jeffrey Epstein died. Oh, okay. The Bureau also put 2 staffers assigned to his unit on leave pending investigations. Epstein was found dead of an apparent suicide over the weekend. He had been facing charges of sex trafficking, and attention is shifting to possible co-conspirators, including this British socialite named Ghislaine Maxwell. She has been accused of recruiting underage girls for sex, which she has denied. Her current location is unknown. Wow, we got some updates into that case. I didn't know that the jail staffers were reassigned and things like that were on his block. So do they do this, you think, normally they reassign people, or it's because it's a particular case?
It just seems like, and Eric, I want to get your opinion to stuff. He's arguably the most important person in captivity in terms of the names he's attached to. Even somebody that's going to testify against the mob or a syndicate wouldn't be as important as this guy. And you randomly assign somebody who's not a full-time employee, like an office temp, and then relieve them of their duties. it's very strange.
Well,
to say the least,
yes.
It's strange.
Yeah, so this lady, this Gillian Maxwell, so she's British. Like you said, she's a British socialite. Her dad is very rich. He owns multiple businesses. And when he passed away, she moved to America in 1991. She's not really known, you know, in the general public, but she's known within the very high upper circles. She's friends with Prince Andrew, who is also one of the people that have been targeted as being friends with Jeffrey for unsavory reasons. Now, I looked into this earlier, and I mean, it appears that they spent a lot of time together, and there was photographs which have been sent to court now with this very young lady. At the time, she was 17, and there's pictures of her with Prince Andrew, with this lady, Miss Maxwell, and they're all together in Prince Andrew's private home. He's considerably older. He's got his arms all over her, and she's clearly young. There's also images of with her, with Jeffrey, all over the world, in New York, at his private estate, and she's saying that Miss Maxwell took her to be a sex slave for Jeffrey, and she was forced to do lots of things with many people.
And this isn't as shocking as people think in terms of it being a woman involved. One, there's apparently speculation that she herself was a victim at one point, which wouldn't even be a rare thing to become a recruiter once she aged out and got her braces taken out because that would make her too old for Jeffrey Epstein, allegedly.
My stomach just turned me.
Yeah, but that's what the court documents say. But I think that it's very common for women to be involved in things like this. If you look at sexual assault survivors on social media who are very prominent or talk about it, some of the worst things that are said are coming from other women. And it's shocking, but it shouldn't be.
Taking himself out of the game is the best thing for him, but now the money stops for people that he's shutting up.
Right.
So now what happens from here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I think we get down to the truth.
I mean, obviously this is massive conspiracy, but I think that's exactly why his team and other people in power have navigated a situation where conveniently the right security guards went on, and conveniently when he's on suicide watch and should be checked every 30 minutes, no one was there for over like an entire evening, 12 hours plus. It's all very convenient.
There's an old school saying, one monkey doesn't stop the circus. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that were eating at this circus, and they're like, just because you got caught doesn't mean this ends.
Exactly.
So, they're hoping, but now I think people are onto them, so we'll see how this turns out. All right, guys, the man who once found the Titanic has his sights set on uncovering the truth behind another famous mystery. He set out on an expedition to the Pacific to recover the wreckage from Amelia Earhart's attempt to fly around the world. She vanished more than 70 years ago during a flight from Papua New Guinea, and it was this photo that may have led to his breakthrough right here. If you blow it up, it shows what many people say is a piece of the landing gear from the plane she was flying at the time. I don't know.
That looks like the Loch Ness Monster photo. Like, you can't tell what that is.
I'm excited because the National Geographic are funding this, and it started earlier in August, and they're going to finish. Wait, let me check the date now. I think they're finishing on the 15th, so they've still got about 2 days left. It's all being filmed. They're not releasing any footage, and they're going to make it into a TV show. It's getting released in October.
Oh, that's because when I first heard this story, I'm like, why don't they document all this and make a show about it? Because it's every show that I watch on National Geographic or Discovery.
But this gentleman, he discovered the Titanic at a time when everyone said it was impossible. So I'm hoping that him and his team and the National Geographic, with their funding, that they're going to find something. The thing that concerns me is this particular ocean and seabed is rugged. It's like mountainous rocks inside. It's all jagged. There's coral. So any form of remains are going to be so hard to find. It's going to be so difficult.
I don't appreciate Steph doing her research on this.
That's like really
I said up there, I was like, that doesn't look like anything. She's got like
Al yelled out the Loch Ness Monster.
I believe in these guys. I think they've got this.
Right.
I'm hoping. I'm ready for that documentary. Oh, I believe it's October the 19th. Don't quote me on that. It's around then. I'm saying it to record. I'm ready.
See, I watch all those stupid shows. Do you watch the Oak Island mystery? Do you watch that?
No.
Don't,
it sound like
because they don't
I
find
like?
anything except like a coin, and I've been watching for 5 years.
Yeah, well, they can't find it. The show's over.
No,
they're gonna find it and be like, oh no.
They leave the season, they're like, oh, and they're like, it's over, and they're like, what'd they find? And then I'm back next season, they're like, oh, it was just a bug.
Yeah.
And then it's the next episode, but they always leave you hanging, and I hate it.
Sadly, now I want to watch it.
Right? Somebody who's got a lot of money, go take an artifact and throw it in that hole.
Just
to make
something.
all the people happy so we can find something. Yeah, please help us out. All right, guys, DBL is live, and coming up, Katy Perry may be known for her empowering anthems, but a male model is calling her out for allegedly humiliating him. Plus, our own Tori Showman gets busy in the kitchen to recreate a legendary dessert from the Cheesecake Factory Great Happy Hour. But will she be able to fool our co-host? And you, the viewer, are the fifth host after Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth split. People on social media are speculating she may have been cheating on him with a woman, and that's why you shouldn't date bisexuals. We share your comments next.
Information.
Oh. Is there anything worse than somebody saying, hold on, I'm gonna look at my facts. I've got facts to hit you.
What's up?
Like, I like to just talk off the top of my head. What's up? Are we on?
Oak Island?
All right. Steph actually got me interested.
Yeah, dude, it's the worst.
And finding this.
One day. It's airing on the 20th of October, people, a 2-hour special.
Oh, it's going to air? They already went and did all the stuff?
They're doing it. Okay, so
They're going to turn it around that fast?
So, let me just read this. Okay, I didn't actually include the dates. Shoot. But, okay, basically, National Geographic, they're doing it now, and it finishes, I'm sure it finishes in like a few days' time. There's not long left. It started on like the 4th or 5th of August, and it's through until the 20th. That's their window of opportunity and time. And National Geographic are funding it. The gentleman who found the Titanic remains is obviously leading the expedition. And so they're now currently searching for any evidence. They found 13 bones a while ago, which is also what prompted this, which they believe were Amelia's bones.
No way.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
So that's what they're trying to like wrap up now. And they are live documenting it all. And it's going to be edited into a special feature, which is going to air on the 20th of October, not the 19th. I told you the wrong day by a day. But a fact, the likelihood of finding her plane is less than 20% due to the reef slope. I can't say this word, it's Kikumurano. This is the name of the seabed in that particular area. It's very difficult. I can't say the name of the seabed. It's very difficult, but it's very steep. It's unstable. It's like a mountainside. It's really rugged. So if her plane had crashed there, the chance of it still being any remnants is going to be, it's in the coral bed. It's going to be very difficult.
That's interesting. I wonder what fuels are like. I think we just want to tie loose ends up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you're talking about. Just an hour after news broke that newlyweds Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth are headed for divorce, Miley was spotted kissing Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn Carter, in Italy. And now some are blaming Miley's attraction to women for the split. Miley considers herself pansexual and is attracted to people. That's what pansexual means. So DBL Nation, how would you feel if someone you were dating were pansexual or bisexual?
Well, Luna from Facebook says, I'm bisexual and I'm mainly attracted to other bi or pansexuals because there's an understanding that makes it easier for me to be myself. Luna, thank you so much for chiming in with your candor. I think that it's ridiculous to have a conversation about monogamy in conjunction with the idea of her being bisexual. I think you can be bisexual and still monogamous. So the fact that it's two women involved, I think that we just have this very gratuitous understanding of two women being involved sexually, and that's the reason why we think that there has to be a third party of a male or something else coming in. But really, you can be monogamous no matter what your sexuality is.
I have to share this.
Yes.
Yes, it just happened. But, you started reading the question and it goes, are you bisexual? And I looked and our stage manager, David, was stretching his shoulder. And he was just
like, I saw that too.
David, they can't see you. Come around this side of the camera.
Give us a little visual, David.
Like raising
his shoulders.
It's just like,
we thought you were trying to tell us.
I didn't know this was a Q&A. All right. Natalie from Facebook says, I would consider dating a good man who is bisexual before I consider a man who is pan. There are too many variables with pansexuality that I just don't understand. Oh, wow, Natalie, yeah, it seems like she was very open and then very close. But again, I like the fact that you know what you want, and hopefully you would have that discussion with that bisexual man or that pan man ahead of time. You guys said what direction you want to head and head off happily to the sunset.
Ashley from Facebook says, it's crazy because most of the men I'm attracted to are gay. So I would date a sexy good guy who is bi and monogamous. So I think, you know, each to their own, and everyone will fall in love with whoever they want to fall in love with. You know what? I think pan people are actually fantastic because they love the person that's inside, not the outer shell. So it's fantastic because, like, there's the most...
No, fantastic.
I get it.
All right.
I just think it's a huge compliment. I think it's a wonderful thing. Like, what a beautiful thing to love someone solely for their inner soul rather than their outer shell, no?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, I think good for you, good for everyone. Just be happy, and just because you're bi or pan or straight, whatever you are, doesn't mean you're going to go off cheating and not be monogamous. It's just crazy.
Would you be weird, would you be put off if someone told you that 10 years into the relationship as opposed to in the beginning?
I would obviously rather enter a relationship fully knowing like what that person wants, but also guess what? We're human beings and we change. What you like today might not what you like in 5 years' time because we're always evolving and changing depending on our circumstance.
Wow, people are changing and evolving?
Yeah.
What an interesting concept.
It's like Kylie Jenner, this year's all about realizing things.
Oh.
For anyone who
You're on a roll and then you went there.
That was on fire today.
DBL, Drake's got a new tattoo that's ticking off a lot of Beatles fans. We'll show you what has them riled up. And in our latest installment of Copycat Kitchen, our own Tori Shulman recreates a delicious dessert from the Cheesecake Factory. Will she fool our co-host in the blind taste test? Find out next.
Hi, it's Raquel here with the DBL Digital team. Right now, it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trending news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. Now, when it comes to back-to-school shopping, sales of bulletproof backpacks have gone up 300%. Parents are split on the idea. Some think it's necessary. Other parents worry it'll make their kids scared to go to school. Prices for the backpacks start at around $100. Now, on to some good news for vegetarians. Plant-based food is coming to a stadium, hospital, and school near you. Beyond Meat will soon become a menu option for a major vending company. Now you'll have way more choices than just nachos and that questionable cheese sauce.
It's the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
And could we be any more excited for this news? Friends is celebrating its 25th anniversary by heading to theaters for a 3-night special. This fall, you can catch 12 fan favorite episodes, and let's just call it the one with the popcorn. And let's give a big shout out to all the left-handers out there, like my mom and Joel over there. Today is your day. Did you know only 10% of the world's population is left-handed? But 8 US presidents have been left-handers, along with 1 in 4 Apollo astronauts. So congrats on changing the world. And that's a wrap for Fast Blast. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back to DBL. In today's Copycat Kitchen, co-host Tori Shulman takes on the Cheesecake Factory's famous Oreo cheesecake. We have the full instructions at dbl.com/recipes, but first, check out Tori's attempt.
I'm gonna keep on loving you. Thank you. That is Oreo Speedwagon, and I'm here to make Cheesecake Factory's Oreo cheesecake on Copycat Kitchen. Let's go. Welcome to Copycat Kitchen. Meow. We are here with Brandon London. He's already prepared. We're going to try the Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake. I made a dupe. He's going to see which one is the real one and which is the copycat. Are you ready? This is Exhibit A.
Let me reset my palate.
Okay. You ready?
Cool.
And coming in hot. Sorry.
The Copycat Kitchen is the second one.
Okay, you think B?
Yes, B.
Okay. All right, Jeff, for your first time.
All right, my first time in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, open your mouth and take it in. Okay, that's one.
Well, that's good.
Delicious, you like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
Okay, let's see about B. You ready?
Okay.
Choo choo, choo choo. Which one's the copycat?
I'd say B is the one you made.
All right, Steph has probably one of the best palates I know, so she is gonna be good about this. Nice cat work. Here we go, open your mouth. And that's A.
Delicious.
Take it in, maybe some oxygen with that. Okay, aerate it, okay. And then we're coming in.
Oh, wow. Creamy and delicious.
Good, okay. And B, you ready? B. Stephanie, which one is the copycat, A or B?
It's gotta be A.
Whoa, you think A is the copycat?
I think it's A.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Thank you for one person doing it. The answer is A is the real, B is the copycat. We tricked Stephanie, everybody.
You would never know.
You would never know. We'll be right back.
Let's have a little look, see what is going on in the world.
Steph, I was going to ask you before we get to the comments.
Yeah.
What is your thing on television in terms of like, what do you like to watch? 'Cause, like, do you like to watch Discovery, like looking for old wreckage? Do you like to watch like, you know, like wildlife, like stuff about penguins in the Arctic? Like, what's
I
your?
do watch things like that, yeah. No, I think I like watching anything underwater just because I love scuba diving. So I just find it interesting more than anything.
Yeah.
But whenever I go, this is really, really, really embarrassing, but whenever I go to sleep at night, I do actually play underwater, like either
I'll be better really?
Of like, yeah.
Like a noise machine kind of thing?
No, like I actually play it on like a screen, like of fish or shipwrecks or whatever. And that's how I go to sleep literally nearly every night. It's pretty embarrassing.
I listen to podcasts.
Do you? To go to sleep?
Yeah, podcasts.
What kind of podcasts?
I listen to history podcasts.
Yeah, okay,
but
this
I'm,
makes
like,
me feel better.
I'm into it, but then I'll just like kind of doze off.
Yeah.
But yeah, TV on. I know you sleep with TV on, huh?
Yeah, I do.
I just like the background noise.
Me too. I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
The light from it. And when you wake up, do you set an alarm to turn it
No,
off?
usually I get sleepy and I just like pop it off.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm done. You know, like as soon as I find myself like nodding out, I shut it off.
Mine depends. Sometimes I just pass out, but if I'm if I'm a bit more awake, I can like turn it off. But yeah, give me underwater scuba diving, anything like shipwrecks or discoveries underwater or Blue Planet. I've watched Blue Planet 1, 2, 3, 4 a million times.
I mean, the people that make Blue Planet must know that people use it to go to sleep too.
Dude, you got to see the show Serengeti.
It's cool.
No one talks about it. It's awesome. It shows like these lions in Africa and elephants and monkeys and all these different things, but they follow specific groups and they show like what they go through and like how the mothers protect their kids and how they're banned from the pride and they all like they give them names and stuff and Lupita Nyong'o,
Lupita?
like moderates the whole thing, you know? And it's so good and they follow every specific, so you start to know like the animals and like this is a single mother and then she meets up with her sister. I still got like my cold. It's so amazing. We're on the second episode and Lawson, even my son sits there and he's like, put on a Little Lion King. He calls it Little Lion King. Because there's like little babies.
What did he think to the Lion King?
It grossed $1.3 billion, I saw.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
he liked it, but he wasn't. He didn't follow the story. He just likes the images.
Right.
You know.
So he calls this Little Lion King.
Dude, my kids don't watch any like.
He loves animals, but it's a great show.
Like I'm out. Too much talking. You don't realize how much talking there is. The stuff from the 80s, they're like, all right, we need a battle scene right now. I'm like, not coming for 20 minutes. They have to talk this out on the deck. Kids hate it.
Welcome back to DBL. A man showed up for his flight, and guess what? He discovered he was the only passenger. Victor recently documented his trip from Aspen to Salt Lake City. Let's watch.
Will the only passenger on this flight kindly board at this time?
That's me.
Mr. Peony?
Yes, I'm coming. We're just adding weight to the plane because there are no people.
Good evening, Vincent, and welcome aboard.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to taking care of you today.
Oh, thank you so much for flying me.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Can't wait.
Your private jet. To the card located in your seat pocket.
Wouldn't you like to fly up and away?
I don't know if I'd like that. Would you like that, to be the only passenger?
Yeah, it'd be fun. Let's be honest, it would be fun.
What do you mean funny? What are you going to do?
Do exactly what he did. Make a nice compilation of wonderful videos of you strolling around on the plane all alone. Laying out on all the seats. No babies crying or people kicking your chair.
That's true.
See, she brings a good point.
All right, here's what's coming up next on DBL.
A male model slams Katy Perry years after starring in one of her music videos. Wait till you hear how his teenage dream turned into a nightmare. Then, Drake's new ink is angering a lot of die-hard Beatles fans. We'll show you the tattoo in question, and Americans say the darndest things. The words we say that foreigners think are crazy when DBL comes back.
What's up, Beauty Blast? I'm Dre for the Slay, and today we're talking a little beauty tea gossip. Now, a lot has been going on in the beauty world lately, but one new collaboration is setting a new record for everybody, all right? Drybar and It Cosmetics has collabed together for a brand new product launch coming August 1st. Now, can you guess what it is? Now, let's think about this. They're both cosmetic companies. Drybar does hair, It Cosmetics does skin and makeup. What could they do in common? Oh yeah, lashes! Lashes have hair, right? And we use them in makeup as well, so it kind of makes sense. Guess what? It is a mascara that they're making for us, guys. This mascara looks like it's out of this world, and it actually combines two great features from both companies. Now, It Cosmetics came into play and actually gave those great killer ingredients that it's so well known for. Biotin, collagen, and hyaluronic acid too, all to help hydrate and lift those beautiful lashes and keep them looking pretty. Drybar came in and said, let's make it look just like what everyone wants. Let's give them what they want, let's say that. Volume, guys. They actually took the idea from their volume-based hair products and they actually created this little mascara brush that looks just like their round brush. Crazy, right? Now, it even went as far as to having little yellow balls on the tips of the brush to actually separate and define the lashes, which I was like, okay, y'all might be trying it a little bit too much. Now, with this mascara, it actually is going to be having an amazing finish, and it's supposed to give you that beautiful lift and curl. So we're gonna try it out and see just how it does very soon here. Now, it launches on August 1st, so hopefully we get it once it gets into a retail store right away. So, for more beauty gossip, make sure you check out more Beauty Blast and check out my social media platforms at Dre for the Slay. We'll see you guys next time.
Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. We are live. Let's jump right in, guys. A male model is accusing Katy Perry of inappropriate behavior. He starred in her teenage dream music video almost 10 years ago, and now he's saying the pop star was belittling. He says Katy Perry exposed him to all her friends at a party. The model says he's done protecting her image, saying, quote, I just say this now because our culture is set on proving men of power are perverse, but females with power are just as disgusting. Katy has not commented yet. So how would this look if we flip these roles around? If it was a male pop star and he exposed a female's breasts at a party, I feel like we'd be looking at an end of a career.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, here's the thing, anytime there's an accusation, I always say, Where there's smoke, there's fire. So if we get more than one, or there's a pattern of behavior, then I'm more inclined to believe that this is who this person is. And I don't know. We'll see. At this point, we just have his story. His story has to be believed. He's a victim, and he's coming forward. But is that who she is? I think those are two different questions.
Right. Right now, it's just accusations. We don't know the truth.
I mean, obviously, yeah, it is accusation. But one thing that sticks out in my mind is Katy Perry obviously is a judge on American Idol, Pop Idol, and there was a time where there was a young guy who said he'd never been kissed, and in front of everyone, she just went up without his consent and just started kissing him.
Yeah, she's known to be flirty as a judge on that show. Definitely.
I just think if that was a young girl and she said I've never had a kiss, and then Simon Cowell, like obviously the male equivalent, or someone, or Lionel Richie or whoever on the show gets up and did that to them, people would be in uproar. They really would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I think sometimes when you're famous, sometimes you think you're almost like this is God complex, isn't there? And you can do anything, and it's funny.
Especially 22-year-old famous.
Yeah, that's true. That was 10 years ago.
I mean, can you imagine, like, you're at that age and everything you do, people laugh extra hard at all your jokes. Oh, right this way, Mr. Schroeder. Everything you do is just, you can do no wrong. So I'm sure this seemed like to me, and I'm not excusing any of this behavior, this seemed like a juvenile pantsing thing, which every boy that's been in the 2nd or 3rd grade has experienced, where your friend, especially when you have sweatpants on, they kind of grab the side of the pants, trousers, and the underwear and pull them down at the same time. That's what it seemed like. I don't think she unzipped anything. I don't know, wasn't there. This seemed like drunken, idiotic, 22-year-old God complex behavior. Not excusing any of it, but I just wonder, like, are we finally seeing that we are getting the equal, we're looking at things equally? Because now, do you remember back in the day, Erica, we used to see, like in 8th grade, a teacher would have sex with an 8th grader. They'd be like, hey, lucky for him. And now people don't say that anymore.
Right.
We see it as
really gross.
Right, it's really gross. But do you remember 10 years ago?
Absolutely.
Where were these teachers? I do think slowly we're starting to equate.
The reason why is because, one, you have this, there's a disproportionate amount of powerful females versus powerful males. So yes, you are seeing more males being come down on for this behavior. But there's also a double standard when it comes to male and female bodies. You can go to Vegas and go to a review where all the men are wearing Speedos and the women are welcomed to touch. If you went to a strip club where there was, or a gentleman's club where women were on stage and a man's touching her, that wouldn't be acceptable. So I think that there is a double standard on bodies in general when it comes to males versus females.
Do you think people are okay with that double standard?
I think they are. Yeah,
I think we kind of are. I don't lose sleep at night knowing that women might be touching male strippers at a bachelorette party. I would find it really disturbing if I found it the other way around.
Yeah.
And that is a double standard, but it is. There's 2 of them. There's going to be double.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Comedian Whitney Cummings shared a topless photo of herself. We'll tell you why. To get ahead of people trying to blackmail her. That's a good reason why. Earlier this year, she accidentally revealed her nipple on Instagram. Once she realized it, she took it down, but not before internet trolls screen grabbed it, and now they're demanding money from her. But she's not having it, saying, quote, when a woman is extorted, we have to spend time, money, and energy dealing with it and living with a pit in our stomach about when and how we will be humiliated. Y'all can have my nipple. And now Whitney's celebrity friends are sending her their own embarrassing photos in support.
I will say this, we didn't, the rest of that quote is, she said, y'all can have my nipple, but you can't have my time and my money anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought
she did right there?
I thought that was really cool to put that and just kind of take the power back.
Yeah, because you can't be extorted for something that you're not embarrassed about, right? The whole thing is keeping the embarrassment inside. That's why you pay money or you're getting extorted for that. If you release it, there it goes, which is another reason I want licensing on social media, because if you did this, you'd know exactly who's trying to extort her.
Well, I'm sure that someone is looking into who's trying to extort her, because extortion is a serious crime. You will go to jail for it. There are multiple examples of famous people being extorted, and their people, or the people who are extorting them, have absolutely seen justice. So I think that people need to understand that this isn't like you're talking to your brother, I'm going to tell mom and dad, like, this is a serious crime. So if I were in this situation, I don't blame her for how she handled it, but I can assure you people are looking into who was trying to extort her.
I hope so. I hope they find them.
But I just also think, again, I'm sorry, but again, it goes down to social media and people thinking that they can say and do whatever they want at the risk of everyone else to benefit themselves. Whether it's a nasty comment you just don't need to say, or in this example, she did an Instagram story, and she was obviously moving around and like her top happened to move, and it was pure fluke, it was pure by accident. The fact that they've gone back, they've paused it on that moment, they've screenshot, they've zoomed, whatever they've done to try and benefit themselves at the risk of someone else's expense, shame on you. Just why, people? Seriously, do people have nothing better to do?
No, they don't. And no, they don't.
Good for that. And you know what? And at the end of the day, so what? It's a nipple. Guess what? Every single human alive has got them. My dog's got bloody 8 of them. Who cares?
That's a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Elaine makes a Christmas card and the same thing happens and she sends it out to all of her friends. That's it. That's the end of the story. We should have stopped with no diggity, no nipple. I don't know what he said. All right. This is a major he said, she said story. A woman is exposing cheaters on the dating app Tinder. She's swiping right on men who say things like looking for something discreet in their profiles. Then she flirts with them to get proof and texts any evidence to their wives. So far, she's caught 5 cheaters. Well, okay, there's a couple of things here. One, I don't condone cheaters, but this woman's a loser. Talk about finding a life. 2, how do you get the wives' numbers?
Yeah, I don't know.
How does that happen?
The internet does everything. All you have to do is type in. You know, I don't think it's that hard to find.
Really?
It's got to be hard.
If you have you put somebody's picture
I can't
in
even find
Google
a
and it
to the
comes
pizza
up.
place I like.
Al.
You think it's hard to get somebody's phone number?
That is a whole lot of work. I mean, she must be a socialite because she can't possibly have a job.
No.
And I can also tell you why you don't have a man. You don't have a man because your priorities are all screwed up. If you are on a internet dating app, then find a date for yourself. Don't go out vigilante justicing on other people's possible significant others, because what's going to happen is they're going to be all booed back up after the falling out, and they're going to live happily ever after in their version of happy, and you're just going to be sitting by yourself looking stupid just by yourself. So girl, if you want to date and you need the internet for that, then use the internet dating app to find yourself a date, not to go into other people's relationships and bedrooms to try to figure out if it's just in there. It's going to be just fine without you.
Yeah, Stephanie, follow that.
I can't. I'm all for Erica's comment. I mean, yeah, again, I'm a one-trick pony today. What's wrong with you all? Do something else.
You can say that about for every single story that we do.
I think I'm saying that for everything
I
today.
think you can.
I can't even say it's Friday, it's Tuesday.
Let's see if that's going to play out. Use that after every story.
I'll try my best. Let's see if it works. Let's keep this one pony trick going.
Check this one, Steph. I'm going to give you the headline. A-Rod has been robbed.
Oh no, what are you guys doing? Do something better with your life.
What's going on?
That is exactly right, Stephanie. So someone broke into the baseball legend's SUV rental and stole $500,000 worth of jewelry and electronics. Now, it happened Sunday night in San Francisco. A-Rod was in town broadcasting the Giants-Phillies game. The break-in took place a few blocks away from the baseball park, and A-Rod said in a statement he said several sentimental items that are irreplaceable were also taken, but he's hopeful police can get them back. And right now, this case is still under investigation.
All right. Thank you, Raquel. I hope they find those items. We're going to move on to this last story. Drake's tattoo isn't sitting well with Beatles fans. We're going to tell you why. The new ink resembles the iconic Abbey Road album cover with all 4 band members and then a 5th figure, or Drake, looking back at them. You'll remember last October, Drake officially surpassed the Beatles with the most top 10 hits in the Hot 100 in a calendar year. Think this is a little narcissistic, or is this kind of cool?
Just a bit. Who has a tattoo of themselves on themselves?
What's wrong with people?
What is wrong with people? Can you not do something better, Drake? No, so seriously though, I understand the sentiment of like what he's obviously feeling right now. Let's be honest. The Beatles are like one of the most iconic bands of our entire time.
Maybe the most.
Yeah, and he's surpassed them. So you know what? Kudos to him. You've worked really hard. People
in one
love
category.
You. Yeah, but okay, but still, it's a big achievement. Let's be real. Would I then go and permanently mark my body with, let's be honest, a pretty rude image of like the Beatles' most iconic photograph of them celebrating everything that they are, looking back at them, basically giving them the finger? Let's be real. That's what it is.
I mean, I kind of look at it as like, you know, the Beatles are part of, we're all just building as a people, especially music. And to go back to go attack a founder like that, whether it's the Beatles or Biggie or Stevie Wonder, why?
Pay homage rather than disrespect.
If it was him like amongst them, or if it was him like next to them, you know, like part of it, like, you know, I'm with these guys, like this is the level I've obtained, or whatever weird thing you want to fill your head with, then yeah, sure. But again, don't do it. Why? Why?
What's wrong with people?
What's wrong with people?
That's a hashtag
Have
of the
you not
day.
got something better to do?
Don't do it.
Don't
Honestly.
do it.
Coming up on DBL, relationship and money, they go hand in hand, and we've got tips on splitting finances the fair way in dollars and cents. But first, turns out we Americans, well, we're kind of weird, right, Steph?
But why?
We got a crazy list of top things foreigners find strange when we come back.
About Drake had an image, a tattoo of himself on himself, but someone I know has one that's in like in a funny sense. So you can't have a tattoo of yourself on yourself in a different way.
My buddy has my buddy Steve-O from Jackass, he has a tattoo of himself on his back, just giving himself the double thumbs up. It's like,
yeah.
You know, basically like who has more, you know, who just showed up to the party with 10 pizza and ready to have a good time? This guy. Like, it's that picture.
Well, he did that for the show, yeah.
Yeah, so he's had that, and it's like comically bad.
Yeah, that's different.
But that's like kind of like
he's making
laughing
fun of
and-
himself.
Yeah, and poking fun at himself.
Steve-O literally went to clown school.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he can do all those tricks. We were on the road together, and I would just go out and do stand-up. And then before he did stand-up, he would go out. I don't think he does this anymore. He would go out. He would take a knife, like a sharp kitchen knife that you would use to like cut ribs, like a sharp knife, and he would bounce it on his finger, then bounce it on his nose, and then like kick it up and catch it. Like catch the blade part, and like a couple times we were in Houston one time, and he sliced it right through his hand. Like he'd be bleeding all the time.
When he did it?
Yeah, he always did it. We had 2 shows. Like that was like we still had another show to do.
Yeah.
And he used to take a lime. He'd take that knife that he'd throw up. He'd take a lime, cut it in half, and squeeze it into his eyeball, like on stage.
Dude, he's crazy.
No, he didn't.
Twice a night. And his doctor told him to stop because he was going to go blind. He's squeezing lime juice.
He was going to go blind?
Yeah, you can't squeeze lime juice in your eyes twice a night. 7 shows a weekend.
Yeah, man, I've heard some crazy stories about that.
Yeah, he's great.
Wow.
He's great.
He's a good guy.
Welcome back to DBL, laughing loudly and grabbing coffee to go, completely normal things in America, right? I think so. But to others, it's downright strange and trending on Twitter right now. Non-Americans are sharing the strangest things Americans do. Like this user calling Americans out for saying counterclockwise instead of anti-clockwise.
Anti.
Do you know that one?
Yeah, anti-clockwise.
Oh, I didn't know that. We use counter over here. All right, we need some insight on this. That's why we have our own Brit, Stephanie Jones. We're going to read more examples, and hopefully Steph can walk us some of this.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's see what's going on.
Ready for the first one? It's America's something logo. Cool. All right, first up, this user writes, just found out that Americans pour gravy on biscuits. Shockingly vile and utterly disgusting. Shaking with rage at the moment.
I completely agree with you, Joe. Tide or whatever it was. Yes, they're biscuits, or incorrectly named scones to us other rightfully mind humans, are for cream and jam only, with your afternoon tea with a cup of tea on the side. Fried chicken, waffles, syrup, gravy, and anything else should not be going anywhere near it.
Ooh. Okay, well, first of all, you just hold your horses right there. Because I would like to just say that biscuits should only be paired with molasses. That's how we roll.
What's in molasses?
What year? Molasses? What, you get that off a pirate ship?
What's in molasses?
Where do you get
What is
molasses
that?
in
You
2019?
can buy molasses at any grocery store with the grandma on it.
What's in molasses?
Banned.
What do you mean banned?
That's a strange thing.
Molasses and gingerbread cookies, right?
I don't know. I
don't
just
like
got my
gingerbread.
biscuit, the molasses in the biscuit.
Hey, you're all wrong. Cream and jam only. Moving onwards.
All right, here we go. Here's a non-American criticizing our buttery popcorn. What's wrong with that? Just found out Americans actually put melted butter in their popcorn. Melted butter?
Yeah, what is that about? What does melted butter even taste like?
Have you been to-
Nothing. So
What?
why would you get a crispy bit of goodness and make it soggy and mushy and disgusting?
What do you dip your crab legs in?
I was going to ask.
I don't
Where
dip
you
my
really-
crab. Well, no,
Or
but
lobster.
but that's not something that's going to go soggy, is it? That's a firm
don't leave
piece
it overnight. You
That's
put it
a,
little and go
That's
for
a
it.
firm piece of fresh meat or crab meat right there. It's not a soggy bit of popcorn.
It doesn't turn out soggy.
You know what? I might be Team Steph on this one.
There we go.
Because it's for all the calories you get right at the top, it's not worth. The taste isn't worth enough.
No, but take the calories out. It's better with the butter.
No.
I'd rather cheddar. I'd rather
No.
cheddar or caramel.
But see, they don't have cheddar.
We don't have that either. We don't have that
How do you eat
either.
carrot
I'm
popcorn?
getting
You
off
are
the boat.
missing out on life.
Well, I've got to try it. I've got to try it, and then might change my mind.
Next time you fly through Chicago, it's at the airport there, right? No hair. Grab some Garrett's popcorn.
I can order it.
Change your
I
mind.
can order it.
Or we could use that thing called the internet. One or the other. All right. This person writes, I just found out Americans have plug sockets in their bathroom. It's almost as if they wanted to get electrocuted.
Yes, Sarah. Yeah.
Everywhere
That's
has
what I
plug
thought
sockets.
too. I was thinking, what's going on here? Water and electricity? Brilliant idea, America.
How do
Wait,
you do
everywhere it has-
anything if you don't have sockets in the bathroom?
That's what a dressing room is for.
Ooh. Oh, we're not
So you
fancy.
need a whole nother room to get dressed?
Pretty much.
That's called the second bedroom in America.
Yeah.
That's called living in the country. Nobody can afford a second room in the city. What you talking about?
Yeah, there's space is limited.
I will just say this really quickly. I have 2 videos of Steph trying American sweet tea. I will put them on my Instagram story right now. It's the funniest thing I've ever
Watch
seen
your
in my life.
eyes. If you've got a sensitive stomach, watch your eyes.
Al Jackson IG in like 2 seconds. You need to see it.
We need to take her to what's the Country Kitchen? What's that called?
Country Buffet?
No, not Old Country
Cracker
Buffet.
Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Thanks for. I was totally off, but you got it.
Cracker Barrel.
Oh, you'll love it. Coming up on DBL, managing your finances in a relationship doesn't have to be difficult. We've got helpful advice next in Dollars and Cents.
Back to the DBL Stream Team, where we talk trending shows on Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. I'm Leo, here with Kelly, and let's dive into our first one, the Hulu original 4 Weddings and a Funeral, based off the movie, and it actually stars the girl from Game of Thrones who plays Missandei. She's in a lead character role. She doesn't feel like Missandei in this series, but
I can't look past Missandei.
yeah,
I
do
can't.
you feel like when you see her, that's all you envision?
I do.
is
I
Game
think
of
she's one of
Thrones?
those characters that I
Oh,
can't get past the Game of
no.
Thrones thing. So that was the first thing for me. And then I couldn't, and I know I shouldn't compare it to the movie because it's a 10-episode series, but I couldn't help but compare it to the movie. The movie was such a good rom-com. It's a classic rom-com. Everyone loves that movie. And this just like didn't match up for me.
And it didn't really. It had the drama.
It
Let
did.
me say this: the first couple episodes had the drama.
Yep.
It had the heart intense action.
Yeah.
But it just
And then it was
after
kinda-
that, it kind of just went downhill. Unfortunately, I would say after the second episode, things kind of just started
Yeah, which is
falling
a
apart
bummer
little.
because writer and producer Mindy Kaling, I love her, but I feel like
it could be a little bit more effort.
I
in-
do,
on that
I do,
department.
and I can't help but compare it to the movie. So
Yeah, but
that's a big
hey,
part of it.
check it out streaming on Hulu now. And our classic pick this week is on Netflix, so you guys can join in. It's the Andy Griffith Show. About Sheriff Andy, you know, and his antics, and there's really no crime that happens in the town, so it's just a lot of shenanigans and a lot of comedy
shenanigans, if
for
you
most
will.
of it, and with him and his son Opie, and yeah, check that out streaming out on Netflix
Classic
now.
show.
And a brief update on the Disney Plus streaming service. They actually are releasing a new package to bundle together with Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney Plus for $12.99. But the Hulu on the subscription does have ads, and there's no option to remove them. So just be
That's
careful
kind of a
about
bummer.
that. Yeah.
But the thing to compare this with is Netflix.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio, and we are talking money in partnership in today's Dollars and Cents presented by John Hancock. Felicia, always great having you here. You always drop some great knowledge for me and the viewers, so thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me again.
Our question today is from Peter through Facebook. How do I deal with splitting up finances with my partner while dealing with our individual debt? We're definitely in it for the long haul, and we want to get better at it.
Yeah, this is a very hard question, and it's very tough, but you got to sit down and have communication with your partner. So one of the things I recommend is schedule a day to talk about finances. Put it on a calendar and kind of time it for no longer than an hour. And the other thing is, for the person who has the concern, be open about how you manage your finances and all of your activities instead of pointing the finger. And then finally, recommend some options when it comes to managing the money. So here are 3 options when it comes to tackling money with your partner.
Okay.
So I always recommend combine, divide, or compromise.
Did you make that up?
Yes, I did make that up.
That's great.
I know. So when you're combined, you're going to put all of your money and it goes into one joint account where your money becomes our money, and that way we'll pay for expenses and debt together. Now the other way is divided. We'll split all of the expenses straight down the middle. We will assign whoever is going to pay for what. And also, you can decide on how you're going to pay for individual debt, and you can keep it separate.
Okay.
And then finally, with compromise, you can contribute an income-based percentage or a flat amount, and you can also still decide if the individual debt will stay separate or together. So these are just 3 different options, and the biggest thing is it doesn't really matter which one, it's just the one you communicate and agree upon.
Great point.
Yes.
Great point. All right. So, Felicia, could you look in the camera and tell my wife I need a couple extra bucks?
I'm staying out of that one.
Good move, Felicia. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love having you here. And to submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, welcome to Coming to America Snackable edition for all the foodies out there. Today, hang on, let me take my knife and fork off. Today I am testing and trying for the very first time a Cinnabon. Cinnabon. It looks like a kind of pastry with, I'm guessing, cinnamon on it, some kind of white sticky sauce. Interesting. And this came in at around $5. $5? You can get a full meal in some places for $5. Like if you go to, like, I don't know, KFC or Popeyes or Wendy's or somewhere, you can get like fries, burger, chips, same difference. You know, basically, I'm expecting a lot from this due to its cost. All right, I think that is quite pricey for a pastry. So I'm gonna use a knife and fork because it's a little bit gooey. I'm gonna look where looks the most. I'm just gonna try and go straight in for the middle. Let's just go straight in. Now it is a bit warm. Oh my gosh, look at this gooiness. Wait, look at that. I mean, it looks very moist. Let's get on in there. Okay, let's have a look. Oh my God, it's falling apart. Right, I've gone straight for the middle, the sweet spot. Okay, sniffing it, it does smell really nice. Smells very sweet, smells fresh. Okay, it is warm as well. Okay, upon the initial lick, I'm feeling it. Smooth and creamy. You know what, that's all right, that is. That is delightful. Oh, get a bit more of that sauce on. What is this sauce? Does anyone know what this sauce is? Just icing. Oh my gosh, this is fabulous. You know what, with a good cup of tea or a cup of coffee, as you guys would rather, this is really delicious. I love it. I don't think it'd be as good if it was cold. I think it needs to be warm to get the full experience. But you know what? My initial thought of $5 is too pricey. I actually take it back. I actually think this is really good. I think it's worth it. I really do. This is like, you need to wake up with a cup of coffee or tea
and then it gets presented to you, and you're a bit hungover because you've been out the night before, and this would be a dream. This is better than a Twinkie. This is way better than a Twinkie. This is deliciousness. This is more decadent. This is decadence in its finest form. I mean, let's be honest, this isn't something you can eat every day. This is definitely like, you know, I feel like this is like having a piece of birthday cake.
Ooh.
Like, it's really nice and delicious, but if you have this often, it's gonna be terrible for your heart and cholesterol. It's decadent, it's gooey and delicious. I rate it definitely a 10 out of 10. Don't have it every week though. I'll see you next time for another Snackable edition coming to America style.
Welcome back to DBL. Look at this. A man wearing a TV as a head is leaving old television on front porches in the middle of the night, and doorbell cameras obviously catching all the action. And in case you're looking for an old tube-style 13-inch, the so-called TV Santa Claus has your back. You like TV Santa Claus, Erica?
No, I do not like TV Santa Claus. And people need to understand that you can't just be walking up on people's porches on their property in the middle of the night dropping off anything. I'm going to assume that it's detrimental to the health and safety of myself and my family, so he might want to think twice about dropping stuff off.
Yeah. I'm with Erica on this one.
Unless it's a TV VCR combo.
Also, just throwing it out there, but aren't those TVs so old that they don't work now anyway?
Guess what would happen to TV Head if I was coming home at midnight and you were on my porch with a TV
Ain't gonna
Head
go down
dropping
well.
boxes off on my front lawn?
That'd be it.
Why do it? What's wrong with you?
You have a hole kicked in your chest, TV Head guy. We'll see you tomorrow.